Member Week is back at Lowe's with big savings for pros. Now through October 15th, My Lowe's Pro Rewards members get up to 40% off hundreds of items like paint, tools, building materials, and more. Plus, get free standard shipping. Shop these exclusive member-only savings before they're gone. Not a rewards member? Join for free today. Free standard shipping not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Subject to change. O'Reilly.
Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Your roof does more than just cover your home. It protects everything inside it. But storms, age, and everyday wear can take a toll. When was the last time your roof was inspected? At Summit Roofing, they provide expert inspections, repairs, and full replacements to keep your home safe and secure. Locally owned and operated, they're here when you need them before, during, and after the storm. Don't wait for leaks to tell you there's a problem. Call 620-603-4505 today for your free roof inspection. Summit Roofing, protecting what matters most.
I'm Matt Bretz with Bretz Injury Law. You've probably seen a lot of lawyers on TV, and some might have even shown up in your hospital room. But not many are willing to put in the hard work needed to secure your future. That's one of the ways we're different. At Bretz Injury Law, we've recovered over $55 million for clients whose first lawyers lost or dropped their cases. These people got a second chance, but most people don't. If your future is at risk after an injury, call 620-RESULTS. Bretz Injury Law, who you need when you're in need.
Even though I've Mic check 1, 2, 3.
Ad Astra Radio. Streaming on the free Ad Astra Radio app. Ad Astra Radio. Home of the McPherson Bullpups. Saw you at the game the other night? Yeah, you. I said you mad. I said you go all out there and you can win the game. Let me be real with you. This isn't a phone. It's real sports. And it's a game. Our game. So please, let us play. School sports return. Make sure for your team. Make noise with your business. This message is no better than just
The following is a presentation of the Ad Astra Sports Network. Coming up, coverage of McPherson Bullpup football on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP. Bullpup football is streaming online at adastraradio.com and on the Ad Astra Radio app. Coming up on the Midway Motors Drive to the Game, we'll break down tonight's matchup and preview other key games on the Ad Astra Sports Network. Tonight's kickoff is just 30 minutes away.
At Midway Motors, we are here for you for every mile of life. Whether you're shopping for a new or used vehicle or selling one, Midway Motors will buy your vehicle even if you're not in the market to buy one of ours. Just stop by one of our 5 locations and one of our appraisers will evaluate your vehicle and you can leave with a check the same day. It's fast and easy. Visit MidwayMotors.com for more information. Midway Motors, for every mile of life.
Bullpup football on KMCP.
Good afternoon and happy Friday. Welcome to coverage of McPherson High School football on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP. It's homecoming night at McPherson Stadium as the 4-2 Bullpups look to turn things around after a tough loss to Mulvane last week. But they face a team that some people are saying are the best 1-5 team in the state, a team that has had a few close losses recently, but is super athletic, and that is their league foe, the Augusta Orioles. Alongside Nathan Roble, studio engineer Sherry Bruce, and live stream coordinator Jeremy Snap, I'm Lane Gillespie. These Bullpups had a tough 34-3 loss last week, giving them their first league loss of the season. They're now 2-1 in the Ark Valley Chisholm Trail League in Division III. But it's bounce-back night for these McPherson Bullpups, and it's something that we talked about around this time last year. After suffering a tough loss to Mulvane last year, McPherson turned it around and got a shutout win against Augusta. This go-around, they're going to have to try to get another bounce-back win again, but this is an Augusta team that, even though they have just one win on the year, they have had 3 straight close upsets over the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, this is a really good Augusta football team. I know, like you said, the record doesn't show it, but it's been a close game in almost every game they've played. They've kept it close. They've played really good defense and just have not been able to come away. They just don't quite know how to win yet. And for McPherson, coming after last week and for lack of a better term, getting punched in the mouth, it'll be interesting to see how they respond here on homecoming night.
Absolutely. They're definitely changing things up on the offense and the defense and also in the uniforms game, which we'll talk about later in the Midway Motors Drive to the Game. But first things first, there's some history between these two teams. McPherson has had the history on their side for a while. We'll talk with Mark Heidebrecht about that coming up right after this. It's the McPherson High School Bullpups against the Augusta High School Orioles here at McPherson Stadium. We continue the Midway Motors Drive to the Game coming up next on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
More of the Midway Motors Drive to the Game coming up. Find exclusive Bullpup content online at adastraradio.com, including schedules, stories, and game day audio. McPherson Bullpup football on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
This is Darren Eddy with Ag 360 Insurance in Inman. For years, we've been known for our great service with our ag customers. But did you know we can handle your family or small business insurance needs as well? We would love an opportunity to sit down and visit with you about what we can do for you. As an independent agency, we can shop different coverage options for you. Stop by our office on Old K61 in Inman or give Cody Moores or myself a call today at 620 860-585-2128 or check us out online at ag360insurance.com.
Do you have hard water to deal with in your home? Let Gearing Hardware in Mound Ridge help. They feature Water-Right water softener systems for installation. Benefits of a Water-Right water softener in your home include shinier silverware, glasses, mirrors, as well as softer skin and hair. Gearing Hardware will help you clean up your water with a Water-Right water softener system so you can enjoy a more pleasant taste and feel to your water. Gearing Hardware in Mound Ridge since 1897. Come in and see what a century worth of knowledge and customer service can do.
Controlling your own weather can be easier than controlling anything else these days. This is Julie with RC Heating and Cooling. With a well-working cooling and heating system, you can be in control of your indoor weather at home. With so many things out of our hands, it's a good feeling to have a bit of stability. Call RC for a free estimate on new cooling and heating equipment. Call RC when your unit isn't up to par. Call RC to stay comfortable in any weather. Call RC 241-2787.
Whether you want a small home remodel or need repairs done or have a brand new build project in mind, Erickson Custom Building is your choice. All of us at Erickson Custom Building would like to thank our customers for 20 years of business and friendship. Brian and the crew at Erickson have spent those years developing excellent customer service and quality leadership for all types of projects, big or small, traditional or trendy. When your project is finished, it will reflect your vision for quality and follow-through that exceeds your expectations, not your budget. Call Erickson Custom Building or find us on the web at ericksoncustombldg.com.
Bullpup football on KMCP.
Welcome back to pregame coverage of Bullpup football. We continue the Midway Motors drive to the game, and it's now time to give you the history between the McPherson Bullpups and the Augusta Orioles. We're joined now by Mark Heidebrecht, our Bullpup historian. Now, Mark, pretty favorable in McPherson's direction, as we've seen, time and again, but especially recently.
Yes, the overall series with Augusta stands at 11-1 in the Bullpups' favor. Last year, we blanked the Orioles 32-0 in Augusta on October 18th. The series started back in 2014 and up to 12 games now. That ranks 26th out of the 55 football opponents we've played since 1920, so middle of the pack in terms of times we've played them. Our home record is 5-1. Our away record is 6-0. As far as offensive averages are concerned, McPherson is averaging 43.0 points per game, while Augusta averages 11.5 points per game. Average winning margin, 34.9 for the Bullpups and 6.0 points per game for Augusta. Corresponds pretty well to the overall record.
Right.
McPherson does have a 10-game winning streak against the Orioles. Highest scores in the series, McPherson scored 63 points on October 5th, 2018 in McPherson for a 63-6 win. Augusta's highest score in the series is 28 points. That happened on October 22nd, 2021 in Augusta for a 28-56 loss. As far as highest winning margins in the series go, McPherson won by 57 points back on October 5th, 2018 in McPherson by a score of 63-6. Augusta won by 6 points on September 18th, 2015 in McPherson by a score of 19-13. Coach Paz's record versus Augusta is 10-1. So I'm kind of curious about that one loss, how that actually played out in McPherson.
Yeah. I looked up, how Augusta did that season. Well, Augusta was 7-3 that year. They were pretty good. Only one league loss, which was against Bueller, which Bueller was a really good team in 2015. But they made it to the playoffs. They were really good, only to meet Topeka Hayden. Lost 21-0. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
But that was a really good season. That was when Jason Philbeck was their head coach. But now things have really been been in McPherson's favor, especially as of recent. So it's been pretty good.
Yeah.
So that's the history between McPherson and Augusta. We'll be back with Mark this time next week to give you the history. That'll be between McPherson and Bueller. That'll be a fun one, but of course, got to take care of business against Augusta first. Mark, thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome.
That's Mark Heidebrecht. We'll preview more coming up next in the Midway Motors Drive to the Game. You're listening to Bullpup Football on KMCP.
When you bank with Great Plains Federal Credit Union, you're more than a customer. You're a member and an owner. That means fewer fees, better rates, and real people who care about you and your financial goals. Stop by one of our convenient locations in McPherson, Salina, Abilene, or Hillsboro, and experience the credit union difference today. Great Plains Federal Credit Union in McPherson, member NCUA.
0% financing is almost unheard of right now, but not at Prairie Land Partners. Stretch your dollar further with 0% for 72 months on new John Deere compact utility tractors. That's 6 years with no interest on the tractor you need for mowing, grading, digging, and more. Visit prairielandpartners.com or stop by. Offer ends October 31st, 2025. Some restrictions apply. See Prairie Land Partners for details.
Delivering the right solution. Prairie Land Partners.
Some people think the daily moves of the market make stress inevitable when it comes to investing. Hi, I'm Brad Seibel, your local Edward Jones financial advisor. One stress reducer is to have a plan and stick with it during the market's ups and downs. Here's another. Periodically rebalance your investments to align with your needs and risk comfort, and have a good financial advisor to sit down and talk to. Contact me at 620-241-6033. Keeping your investments under control can help keep your emotions in check. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC.
Life's better when you're under our roof because our agents can help you choose insurance to help protect what matters most. Life insurance from American Family Life Insurance Company can help financially protect your loved ones by replacing a portion of your income if you were to pass away. That means your family can have the help they need to continue to pursue their dreams.
Visit your local American Family Insurance agent, Steve Barr, at 807 North Main, McPherson.
Products not available in all states. American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
American Family Insurance.
Bullpup football on KMCP.
Welcome back to homecoming night in McPherson. The Bullpups getting ready for a bounce-back game, potentially against the Augusta Orioles. McPherson enters 4-2 on the season, 2-1 in league play after falling 34-3 last week against the Mulvane Wildcats on the road. Meanwhile, Augusta, they're coming off of just a 3-0 loss against Abilene last week, and according to Charles Cheney of the Butler County Times, that was the lowest scoring win ever, or not ever, but for Abilene since 1989, but the first time ever that Augusta had ever lost a game 3-0. But the last 3 games have been near upsets, just a 3-point victory against Mulvane, in which they led by 11 points in the second half, but Mulvane mounted the comeback and won. The week after was a road game for Augusta where they fell by just 1 point to Wellington, but it was 49-48. And in that game, they actually trailed 37-21 after the third quarter, came back to score. They did score a touchdown late to make it 49-48, but instead of going for the PAT, they went for 2 and the win, which they did not convert, making that the final score. But they had almost 600 yards of offense. They had 559 on that game. And then last week only gave up the field goal in the third quarter. They had a rushing touchdown late, which would have given them the lead, but it was called back due to a penalty. The drive turned into a turnover on downs, which is why they fell 3-0. But this Augusta team, they're pretty decent, even though they have a 1-5 record. First of all, as we give you the ones to watch, let's start out with Augusta. Nathan, who should we look out for?
Yeah, I think it starts right here at the quarterback position. Number 1, Brody Haskell. I mean, he's a 6'1" senior. He's a terrific athlete at quarterback. What he's going to try to do is he likes to scramble around, try to find lanes. He can either run or throw the football in. However, that could be his downfall if he's contained properly. But again, the running back as well is going to be a big key to this game as well. 18, Owen Roberts, 5'10" senior. Last week, 14 attempts, 41 yards. He runs hard, got good speed. Last guy to pay attention to, I think, is Brecken Albert, the 6'2" senior wide receiver. Had over 200 receiving yards versus Wellington. He's receiving some college offers from various NAIs and JUCOs around the area.
Yeah, for sure. This is Augusta team to really look out for. And then McPherson, they're changing a few things up here and there. For the most part, they're staying the same, but really trying to find that rhythm again to give themselves a bounce-back win against Augusta. Who should we really highlight in this contest, Nathan?
Yeah, I think it goes back to the basics. I think you go back to Dane Becker, Brody Millis, and I think those two at the running back position, you start trusting those guys again, and let them run the football. But again, Carter Bankston at quarterback's the guy I think you need to watch out for. But you got to also watch out for Nolan Piercy in the linebacking core. He right now in this game, due to some injuries and some other things, he's going to be the most experienced linebacker on the field, and that's what they're going to need here tonight is to trust his ability and his experience.
Absolutely. Those are the ones to watch for. When we return, we'll have our pregame conversation with head coach Jace Pavlovich, and he'll talk about how the guys responded in practice and even on film session on Saturday, and then what to look out for this game here tonight. That's all coming up next in the Midway Motors Drive to the Game. You're listening to coverage of McPherson High School football on 98.9, 1540 KMCP.
The Midway Motors Drive to the Game continues after this. Midway Motors in McPherson, Newton, Hutchinson, and Hillsboro for every mile of life. Stay tuned as we sit down for a pregame chat with head coach Jace Pavlovich.
Show your Bullpup pride with apparel from Art Shirt, Gear for Sport at 211 North Main, downtown McPherson. We offer a wide variety of apparel for everyone in the family, offering sizes from newborn all the way to 4X. We wish all the student athletes a safe and successful season. Go Bullpups!
Hey everybody! Drive Performance Automotive is having a food drive. Bring in canned food or non-perishable items, and you'll get 1% off your service for each item, up to 10%.
And if you bring frozen meat, you get 2% off for every pound, up to 20% off for your service. All the food goes to help families in our community.
Everyone, fill up a box and bring it to Drive Performance Automotive in McPherson this October and November.
Trust Drive with your car.
Welcome back to pregame coverage of McPherson High School football on 98.9, 1540 KMCP. We continue the Midway Motors Drive to the Game with our pregame conversation with the head coach of the Bullpups, Jace Pavlovich. Now, Coach, we'll go ahead and get this topic out of the way. Obviously, the tough loss last week against Mulvane. You talked a little bit about, what you were preparing for, for this past weekend after the game, looking at film and then coming together, figuring out how to fix things. So just what was addressed in that film session on Saturday and in the first few days of practice this week?
Well, the first thing is we need to identify what the standard here is in McPherson. And I asked the kids, I asked them exactly, what do you think the standard here is? And they said winning, and I told them, that's not true at all. It's showing up, working hard, respecting your teammates, things of that nature, and that's we do those kinds of things, and the results take care of themselves. So we had a bunch of kids that walked in on Saturday morning just defeated. Felt like failures because we did not play very well the night before, and we just had to reevaluate and identify that what our standard was, and our kids have really responded well. It's been a great week of practice this week. We have two similar teams fighting each other right now, and with us and Augusta, two teams that are good football teams that just didn't have good performances last week. So our kids have handled things really well, and they've been resilient, and they've handled the coaching, and we've had a great week.
Yeah, and you mentioned, how they've responded, or even just, them figuring out the standard of McPherson. Is it, obviously it's the second half of the season, but it's better to figure that out after week 6 than week 8, right?
Yeah, there's no question. Again, we had a bunch of kids feeling like they were failures, a bunch of coaches feeling like they were failures because, we didn't win the game, and I just wanted to make sure everyone understood what that standard was, and we are not focused on the results. We're focused on the process, and the process is going to, affect the results. So, I think it was good for us to get humbled and reset. And, I think we got a bunch of guys that would really like to play that football team again. But there's no chance of that unless we take care of business, tonight.
For sure. But after looking at the film session and talking with everybody, what were some positives that you could take away from that game?
Well, the positives is we did some good things. Our kids handled some adjustments that we had to make on the fly. For example, Mulvane, since we've started playing them, which would have been at least 12 years ago, they've always been a 3-2 box. They've always run a 3-4 defense, and they came out and ran a 4-2, and we had tags We had different schemes, adjustments, and it does not work against the 4-2, but it does against, the 3-4, which was what we were expecting. And the kids handled, making those adjustments back to where they were, and they played pretty physical. It's just, we need to handle, different looks a little bit better, a little bit quicker. But the guys did make the adjustment, and the coaches did a tremendous job of making that adjustment, and so that was a positive. I felt like defensively we played physical all night. We played fast all night, but we made some mistakes here and there that led to long drives, and to the point where we couldn't get off the field. So we did a good job of eliminating the big play for the most part. We just got to get off the field, especially in third down situations.
Today you have Augusta for homecoming, first of all, and you guys are looking to turn it around. But just from what I've seen out of them on film, they at times they do like to run or do a sort of option play. Not as much as we saw from Mulvane, but how does getting the experience of seeing a super great option team like Mulvane help for a team that likes to run like Augusta?
Oh, it helps tremendously. Augusta is a really good football team. They do some really good things scheme-wise. They have very good quarterback play, and they have a couple good receivers that are just game changers. So I'm not sure, how their record is the way it is. It's shocking to me that they haven't won more games. So they're a team that's fully capable of coming in and beating us. So we're going to have to play incredibly well. Up front, they really fire off the football and play hard, but it just seems, over the course of the last few weeks, they've found ways to lose a game. A dropped pass from a wide open receiver here or there, and a penalty in the end zone that really turned the tide last week against Abilene against them. And so they've found ways to lose a game, but they should be winning most of these games. And and we sat down with the kids and we were like, well, look, Augusta is a very good football team that did not play very well last week. And we had a young man raise his hand and he said, "That kind of sounds like us, Coach." And I said, "Absolutely. That's absolutely correct." And so this is going to be a battle of wills and who wants to come out and play football and win a football game.
Absolutely. Should be a fun one here tonight. Coach, really appreciate you taking the time. Best of luck.
Great. Thank you, sir.
That's head coach Chase Pavlovich. More coming up next in the Midway Motors Drive to the Game. You're listening to coverage of McPherson High School football on KMCP.
We've got more of the Midway Motors Drive to the Game coming up. Midway Motors in McPherson, Newton, Hutchinson, and Hillsboro for every mile of life. 98.9 and 1540 KMCP. The McPherson Bullpups play here.
Living the sweet life at So Swedish in Lindsborg. Explore Swedish candies you won't find anywhere else. Plus all the classic favorites you love. Bring the kids or just the kid in you. Living the sweet life at So Swedish, downtown Lindsborg.
Celebrate the end of the season toy and float sale going on now at Pools Plus. Surprise your family and friends with new outdoor furniture. 30% off all in-stock furniture and get $100 off for every $1,000 you spend. Shop local, shop Pools Plus, 21 East 1st, and downtown Hutchinson.
If you're changing jobs or considering early retirement, you may be wondering what to do with your 401k. Before taking any action, make sure you know the rules, as mistakes can be costly. At Iron Horse Financial, we can show you how to avoid IRS penalties and full taxation, plus a little-known strategy to access funds early. For more info, go to 401krollovermistakes.com and download your free guide. You can also reach us at 620-765-6456.
Bullpup football on KMCP.
Welcome back to McPherson. We're minutes away from kickoff between the McPherson High School Bullpups and the Augusta High School Orioles. Time now for the starting lineups for both teams, brought to you by Ag360 Insurance. Let's start off with the visiting Augusta Orioles with the front line. Left to right, they are Griffin Tatum, Hoyt Gold, Gunnar Carey, Tyler Henman, and Drew Borm. The receiver core are Brecken Albert, Jet Highfill, and Roman Bridwell. The tight end is Cade Kamick. The running back is Owen Roberts. Quarterback, also punter and kicker, Brody Haskell. On the defensive end for the Augusta Orioles, the starting lineup is as follows. Up front, Jackson Ingram, Clayton Hall, Gunnar Carey, Griffin Tatum. The two linebackers are Cade Kamick and Dalton Apple. And then the safety core, or rather the secondary, the nickel is Owen Roberts, followed by defensive backs Brecken Albert and Brody Haskell. Safeties Cale Wills, and Jet Highfill. For the McPherson High School Bullpups, their offense is as follows on the front line from left to right. Dylan Hall, Jace Gunn, Braxton Burgess, Creighton Bird, and McCoy Berggren. The wide receiver core, Ashton Malm, Isaac Puhala, Paxton Ingalls. Starting tight end is Bo Barkley. Running back is Dane Becker. Quarterback is Carter Bankson. Kicker and punter is Jackson Hoover. And then on the defensive end for McPherson, starting with the front line, defensive ends Bo Barkley and Jaron Stutzman. Defensive tackles, Carter Leathers and Dylan Hall. Linebackers, Noah Sowers, Asher Allen, and Nolan Piercy. And then in the secondary, Keaton Crane, Dane Becker, Carter Busker, and Dakota Lynn. Those are the starting lineups brought to you by Ag360 Insurance. Ag360 Insurance is here to partner in your legacy. Contact agents Darren Eddy or Cody Moores in Inman. Kickoff is coming up next. It's the Bullpups and the Orioles here on homecoming night for McPherson. We're back after this. You're listening to Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
More of the Midway Motors Drive to the Game coming up. Find exclusive stories highlighting Bullpup athletics at adastraradio.com. The McPherson Bullpups play on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Hey Bullpup fans, want to make a real difference in McPherson? Join the Bullpup Booster Club today. The Bullpup Booster Club proudly supports all student programs and activities, helping our teams, clubs, and organizations succeed. Your membership helps fund uniforms, equipment, and so much more for our students. By supporting the Booster Club, you're backing all of the Bullpups. Visit bullpupbooster.com to join today. Together we're stronger. Go Bullpups.
If you're searching for assisted living for your loved one that offers personalized health programs, freedom from cooking, and a safe and secure environment, visit Sunflower Terrace by Bethany Village in Lindsborg, Kansas. Whether your loved one seeks full independence or needs a little assistance day to day, you should explore the affordable options at Sunflower Terrace in Lindsborg by Bethany Village. Experience the art of living.
Hey there, I'm James Dunlap from Farmers Alliance. Just like a winning sports team huddles up before the big game, we know that having a solid game plan in place ahead of time is key. At Farmers Alliance, we've got your back when it comes to protecting your loved ones before the unexpected strikes. Don't wait for a crisis to hit. Chat with your friendly, independent insurance agent today, whether you need to draft a plan from scratch or level up your existing one. Our Farmers Alliance team is here to prepare you for life's curveballs. Don't hesitate. Get in touch with your Farmers Alliance agent now.
Get back to doing what you love with Advanced Physical Therapy in McPherson. Whether you're recovering from injury, surgery, or just want to move with less pain, their expert team is here to help. Call or stop by Advanced Physical Therapy in McPherson today.
Do you need custom shirts, hoodies, polos, or other apparel printed or embroidered? Hi, this is Tyler with 37 Print Company in Hutch. Whether it's for your sports team, business, or church, we've got you covered. Check out our work on our Facebook page at 37 Print Co. We print shirts.
Bullpup Football on KMCP.
Still moments away from kickoff between the McPherson High School Bullpups and the Augusta High School Orioles. Augusta won the coin toss and elected to defer, so McPherson will have the ball to start off the game, and we're going to start a little bit ahead of schedule, but McPherson will go from right to left as we view the field, Augusta vice versa. McPherson changing things up in the uniform game a little bit. all black today, except for the helmets. Black jerseys with white lettering and numbering with a red outline on the front and back. Black pants as well, and black socks and white helmets. Augusta in their white jerseys with black lettering and numbering on the front and back with an orange outline. White pants, black helmets. Uniforms brought to you by McPherson Laundry. It's where to take your clothes. Brody Haskell with the opening kick. It's a line drive boot squibber that is picked up at the 10 by Brody Hoffman. Finding an opening, cutting near left side 30 to the 35, and wrestled down at the 38-yard line. How about a 29-yard return on your very first kick return of the season? Brody Hoffman did just that, and McPherson will set up shop at their own 39-yard line.
Yeah, coming out leading the charge here is quarterback Carter Bankson. This year so far, 69% throws completed for just over 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns, only 1 interception. Last week, just had 111 yards passing through the air, and 2 touchdowns on the ground this season as well.
They work in the pistol formation to start things up, but we're not set yet. One official comes in, make sure everybody's good to go. Augusta works in a 4-2-5 defense. McPherson hands it off on first down to Dane Becker on the near side, gets hit at the line, trying to turn his way forward, but they do blow the whistle, marking him down right at the line of scrimmage. Becker did not practice Monday and Tuesday with a bone bruise in his thigh. He was back at it on Wednesday. He's good to go today, but continuing on the Pilot injury report for the pregame, Bo Barkley is good to go, but he did miss quite a bit of practice due to some back tightness. He's the starting tight end today and also defensive end as well. A.J. Bullock's a backup tight end and a linebacker is out today. Bankson with a play action, rolls to his right, fires, caught, far side at the 50, right side across the 46-yard line, and out of bounds is the aforementioned Bo Barkley into Augusta territory. That injury report was brought to you by Pile Law. If you've been injured at work or in a car wreck, Pile Law takes the time to explain your options and get you the benefits you deserve.
Yeah, one way to prove that you're feeling pretty good, Bo Barkley picking up 15 yards on his first attempt and his first catch of this game.
Yeah, you take it. First down and 10 for McPherson, now at the Augusta 47. We're 46 seconds in, no score. In the shotgun, Bankson with a high snap, collects, hands it off. Becker up the gut he goes, then got stymied by a flock of Orioles at the 45-yard line. He goes down for a gain of a couple.
Yeah, for this offense, they need to get back to trusting this run game, trusting this offensive line up front. Last week struggled to run the football. This week so far, I'd expect head coach Chase Pavlovich to continue to try to run this football early in the game.
Just 67 rushing yards last week in a season where they average 181 rushing yards per contest. An offense that averages 385 yards per game. Second down and 8 at the Augusta 45-yard line. Bankson in the pistol, receiver in motion. That's Ingles from right to left. They're on the right hash. Option play. Bankson keeps. Now a late pitch near side. Becker cuts right, lowers the head. 40, pushing forward and diving for a couple extra yards. He's shy of the sticks, but only by a couple yards. They mark him at the 39-yard line, so a gain of 6. It'll be third down and 2.
Yeah, what this Bullpups offense did really well early in the year lane is they tried to get other teams out of position, make them make choices, use the option game really well. I think the last 2 weeks they've gotten away from it. I'd expect to see them get back to that in week 7 and 8.
They give him an extra yard. Third down and 1 in the pistol again. Augusta stacks the box. They bring in a couple of extra defensive ends. They look like they're going to try to rush, but McPherson looking to their sideline. Play clock down to 8. As they have a pistol formation. Handoff. Becker lowers the head, got the first down, 35. Gets some help from his O-lineman, Dylan Hall, to get a couple extra yards down to the 34. It's just enough to move the 6, first and 10.
Excellent run by Dane Becker. That play, though, set up by Dylan Hall. He had the defender, that defensive end, about 4 or 5 yards down the field, even before Dane Becker was even hit. Excellent job there by Dylan Hall.
First possession on offense for McPherson. No score. 9.5 minutes to go first quarter. Couple of late subs come in. Colt Chapman checks in as a receiver on the right side. Trips to the right. One receiver left in the shotgun. Millis in the tailback. It'll be an option, or rather a screenplay. Near side caught by Malm at the 30, 25, 20. Down the sideline, 15. Gets away from a tackler. Stop and go move at the 5. Driving, and he got it! Or did he? One official comes in. Yes, he did. Touchdown, McPherson. Ashton Malm gets another receiving touchdown, tying what he had last year with 10. It's his 10th of the year, and a guy who normally wears number 0 with these black unis wearing 85, but that run was good enough for 6.
Yeah, went back to that jailbreak screen. They faked like they were going to go the other way to Isaac Puhala out in the flat, but then went back to Ashton Malm, and Malm even with 4 or 5 Orioles around him, was able to make somebody miss and picks up a big 34 yards and an early lead for the Bullpups.
What a start for McPherson. You talk about they need a bounce back. Good start there. Jackson Hoover with a PAT. It is up, and it is true. It's 7-0 McPherson with 9:12 to go in the first quarter. We're back in 30 seconds from McPherson Stadium. You're listening to Bullpup Football on KMCP.
When it comes to your personal banking, it should be, well, personal. That's how we do business at the Farmers State Bank. Farmers State Bank combines personal service with the modern convenience of advanced technology. Visit any one of our locations in Galva, Lindsborg, or McPherson and see how we take service. Very personal.
Meet your new fall treat with a pumpkin cheesecake bite from Scooter's Coffee, an easy-to-eat petite treat with all the pumpkin flavors. Scooter's Coffee, amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast.
Scooter's Coffee in Hutchinson, McPherson, Salina, and Abilene.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
One thing we talked about for this McPherson game is they now lead Augusta. It's a bounce-back game that they need to get. How about in their first drive, 2 minutes and 48 seconds, 61 yards, capped off by a 34-yard touchdown pass to Ashton Malm, his 10th of the season.
And you know, Lane, the thing I liked about that drive the most is you went back to using your playmakers. You used Dane Becker had 4 carries on that drive, and Ashton Malm touched it. That's going to be a key to success for this Bullpups offense the rest of the season.
Jackson Hoover will now boot it away from right to left, and Augusta will have it for the first time in this game. Hoover runs up, kicks it off the green tee, high end over end, arms out from Brecken Albert. It's in the end zone for a touchback, and Augusta will have it at their own 20. Touchback number, let me see if I can pull that up here. Touchback number 14 for Jackson Hoover this year.
My goodness.
He's a sophomore, by the way.
Now looking at this Orioles offense, they're led by quarterback Brody Haskell. He's 6'1". Where's the number 1? Last week, 17 of 32 through the air, 111 yards. 14 rushes for 41 yards last week. Did have a fumble, turned the football over 3 times through the air as well.
That fumble was a strip sack on their very last drive when they were down 3-0, trying to push the ball down across midfield, and the drive ended in a strip sack. I stumbled a little bit because a late sub came in for Augusta. It turned out they had 10 guys on the field. Now they bring in the 11th. Shotgun, they'll look to throw across the middle. It's Brecken Albert who makes the catch. Ashton Malm is there as a defensive back. He sheds off of him, and Albert down the sideline at the 40, 35-30. It's Piercy to beat, 15, 10, 5. And in one play, Augusta turns it around, and it's an 80-yard touchdown pass to Brecken Albert, his 7th touchdown of the year, and in just one catch, eclipsing the 59 yards he had last week. It's an 80-yard touchdown. It's 7-6 McPherson. And a sideline warning called on Augusta during that play, but that means nothing as the score does still stand.
And Lane, even before the missed tackle there by Ashton Malm, I was about to say there are a number of different Bullpups out there. Brody Millison was out there trying to bring pressure on this close side off the edge. Ashton Malm was out there. He missed the tackle, but that was just a simple almost slant pattern, just an extended slant pattern, made Ashton Malm miss, and it was gone for 80 yards, and a quick answer here by the Orioles.
I talked to Coach Pab before the game, and he said that he was going to bring in Malm, likely for speed versus speed. Albert's a pretty good receiver. Brody Haskell is also the kicker, and the PAT is up and good. So in just one play, Augusta ties the game, and we're deadlocked at 7. 8:59 to go, first quarter. We'll step aside, and we're back at 30 seconds. You're listening to Bullpup Football on KMCP.
At Nextech Wireless, get the iPhone 17 on us. iPhone 17 comes in 4 gorgeous colors with a brighter 6.3-inch display and a ceramic 2 shield front that's 3 times more scratch resistant. Capture super high resolution shots by default with the advanced 48MP dual fusion camera system, and have flexible ways to frame your shot with dual capture video for simultaneous front and rear recording. Nextech Wireless, connecting Kansas.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
7 all time. We're just over 3 minutes into this game. We may see a shootout here today between McPherson and Augusta. 7-7 tie. McPherson scored on their opening drive, then an 80-yard touchdown the other way by Augusta. The ensuing kickoff bounces into the end zone for a touchback, and McPherson will take it over at their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, McPherson needs to come back out. They just need to slow this game back down again. You said it only 3 minutes off the clock here early, and it's 7-7. One play, 13 seconds, time of possession for that last drive for the Orioles. You got to keep the defense on the field, the Orioles defense on the field longer than that. So can't go 3 and out. Got to get at least 2 first downs here if you want to have a successful drive.
So McPherson comes back out, and in their first possession, they went 61 yards in 2 minutes and 48 seconds, capped off by a 34-yard touchdown pass, Carter Bankton to Ashton Malm. And that was on a jailbreak screen once again, and him doing some work. 2-by-2 they line up. It is a handoff, though, to Becker, who finds an opening right side, sheds off one man at the 30, lowers the shoulder, and then gets hit to go down for a gain of 13 yards on the first play of the drive, but a touchdown-saving tackle by Cale Wills.
Yeah, an excellent drive, or an excellent job up front. That was just a simple zone read scheme, or zone blocking scheme where the offensive line was just trying to block into positions onto the field, and Dane Becker was able to use his vision, cut back, and pick up a big 13 yards.
Trips to the left, one receiver to the right, 1st and 10 at their own 33. Bankton in the pistol. Becker is the tailback, just about a yard or two behind him. They look to the sideline to get their play. They're on the right hash with those 3 receivers lined up wide to the left. Bankton takes a snap, quick pass, Puhala. It's over his head, incomplete, a bit too high, even though it was intended for the 6'4 Puhala, and also really zipped in there. Puhala didn't really have a whole lot of time to make the catch. Incomplete, makes it 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, an excellent. It was just a simple, hey, we're going to run a hitch pattern. You see the Kansas City Chiefs, you see a lot of the NFL run this where they just kind of sit down in the zone about 4 yards past the line of scrimmage, and you put the ball on them quick. That time Carter Banks just overthrew the 6'4" wide receiver.
2 receivers wide left, 1 receiver to the right, plus a tight end. That's Piercy, but he moves in motion right to left. Bankton will hand it off. Becker finds an opening, lowers the head, then gets hit again by Wills. It's just a gain of about 5 yards, but it looked like a lot of Orioles were crashing in, but the lane opened up in the middle, and Dane found it for 5 yards to make it 3rd down and manageable.
The thing I like about Dane Becker, running back, is not only is he fast, he's shifty, he can make somebody miss an open space like he did two plays ago on the big 13-yard run. He cut back, didn't use his vision excellently, but that time he just said, you know what, I'm going to lower the shoulder, we're going to go man-on-man here, and I'm going to try to run you over, and that time it helped him pick up 5 yards.
7:45 to go first quarter. 7-7 tie. McPherson in the pistol again. Tight end receiver right, 2 receivers left. Bankton looking to throw, fires, caught by Malm for a 1st down, who spins to his left and then goes down to the 45. Needed 5, he got 7. Move those chains.
Again, use your playmakers here early. To respond after last week and move into this week, you've only allowed Bo Barkley outside of Dane Becker and Ashton Malm. Only Bo Barkley has caught the football or touched the football after that. That's kind of the key to success right now for this Bullpups offense.
And again, Barkley dealing with a little bit of back tightness. He's currently on the sideline, but with his helmet on. Nolan Piercy's the backup tight end, and he's in the contest right now. He's lined up just right behind the right tackle. 2 other receivers on the right side as well. Ashton Malm lined up one-on-one near side. Bankton will hand it off to the tailback up the middle. It's Millicent getting his first touch, and he's held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that play. As one guy coming in, he was really there quick, fast, and in a hurry, was defensive end, 6'1" junior Jackson Ingram.
Yeah, an excellent job by this Augusta linebacking core and really flowing up and trying to stop the run. They made a concerted effort to try to stop the run early. It hasn't really worked against Dane Becker, but now that Brody Millicent's in the game, maybe they can see a little bit more success as well. But I'd expect them to be aggressive coming up and trying and getting into run fits here.
2nd down and 10. Bullpups with the ball with 6.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Tie game at 7. Play clock down to 4. Millicent in motion. Bankton takes a snap, looks to his left, pauses for a moment, now runs up the middle, spins away from a would-be tackler across midfield to the 49-yard line. That's a very elusive quarterback making that play. A gain of 6 yards from the legs of Carter Bankton. We saw that quite a bit last week. He ran for 30 yards in 9 carries against Mulvane.
Yeah, right. The thing with Carter Bankston is the thing we don't talk about enough is his ability to run with the football and to scramble with the football. Bankston's been really good this year scrambling with the football and in the run game as well. He's got a number of yards, and again, it goes back to those quarterback kneels at the end of the game that really irk me when it comes to his yardages.
Receiver in motion, high snap, and fumbled on the ground. Looked like miscommunication. Bankson able to get back on it, but it goes down to the 45-yard line in McPherson territory, back to the original line of scrimmage. And a loss of 6 on that play. It was 3rd down and 4. They had Puhala in motion right to left. High snap, and then Bankton collected and I think tried to either hand it off to Millicent or have it be a fake handoff, but ball hit the turf. He pounced on it. Loss of 5, they say. 4th and 9. McPherson will punt it away with Jackson Hoover.
And you know, Lane, early in the year, those were mistakes that we never really saw from this Bullpups team, and it made us think they were older than what they were. Last couple of weeks, we've seen those mistakes come out again.
Hoover high, short end-over-end punt as it bounces backwards at the 30, and Millison will pick it up at the 33-yard line, and Augusta will take over around that part with 5 minutes to go first quarter in a tie game, 7 apiece.
Yeah, with this Orioles offense coming back out, they are a high-powered offense. I mean, even in their wins so far this year, they beat a Winfield team 40-0. They put 48 on Wellington. They've scored upwards of 23, 24 points against Mulvane as well. This offense, when it's running right, can be a really high-powered offense and a tough one to stop.
I mentioned in the pregame against Wellington, 559 yards of offense. On first down, fake handoff and a run for Haskell up the middle, and he may be gone. In 2 plays, they may score 2 touchdowns. Indeed, they will. Haskell will reach the end zone. Touchdown, Augusta, 67 yards on the option play kept by the quarterback, and it's 13-7 Augusta.
Yeah, that was just a simple read option play where the quarterback, Brody Haskell, could just either hand it off or run with the football, and he picks up 67 yards as this offensive line kind of parted the seas, if you will, and allowed him to go untouched for all 67 of those yards.
Wow, how about that? Just 24 seconds time of possession for Augusta, 147 yards, 2 plays, 2 touchdowns. Haskell trying to make it 14-7 on the PAT. Snap down, good hold, and the kick does split the uprights. 14-7 Augusta. How does McPherson bounce back on offense? Right after this, we'll find out. You're listening to Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
Are you needing some help upgrading your home? I'm Jared, inviting you to check us out at Krupp Lumber in Heston, your one-stop destination for all your construction and woodworking needs. We offer a wide selection of top-quality windows and doors like Marvin and Anderson. We also offer kitchen and bath options like R.D. Henry cabinets and Onyx showers to make your home stand the test of time. Ask about our in-state delivery and direct shipment options. Check us out at krupplumber.com. Krupp Lumber, service is our specialty.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
I'd like to thank our partners for helping bring you coverage of Bullpup Football. Ag 360 Insurance with Darren Eddy and Cody Moores, RC Heating and Cooling, Great Plains Federal Credit Union, Edward Jones McPherson, Art Shirt Gear for Sport, McPherson Booster Club, Farmers Alliance, Next Tech Wireless. Augusta kicking it away up 14-7, 4:49 to go in the game, in the first quarter, I should say. 2 plays on offense, and they've scored touchdowns on both of them. Ensuing kickoff, a low squibber given to Hoffman. He gets wrestled down at the 25, but a flag comes in. This one may be on McPherson to pin him back a little bit more to start up their third offensive drive. First one resulted in a touchdown. Last one, a punt.
Yeah, this is going to be a big drive here for the Bullpups. They just need to get back to playing relaxed football, playing good team fundamental football, trusting this offensive line, as this is going to be a holding call on McPherson, so back them up just a touch more. But just trust this offensive line, get Dane Becker rolling, and find a way to get this football back into Ashton Malm's hands, whether it be on some touch passes, some screen plays, whatever it has to be, especially with these double teams going on. They need to find a second wide receiver as well to get the ball to. Maybe it's Puhala right now that on the bottom part of our screen or the bottom part of the field. Colt Chapman's in the game or Brody Hoffman's in the game. Maybe it's one of those two.
First down and 10. They mark it at the 15. They're going to hand it off to Becker, looking for the near edge. Stop and go move. Gets a nice block from Hoffman, but a couple more Orioles come in. He tried to cut upfield, but he spun down for a gain of about 3 yards on first down. McPherson in their first 2 drives, 6 minutes, 47 seconds with 85 yards. Augusta in their 2 drives, 24 seconds, 147. And that sees McPherson down 14-7 as we speak. Second down and 7 coming up. 4:20 to go first quarter.
Man. Augusta, I haven't seen much like that in a while. First two plays go for long touchdowns for Augusta. But now Bullpups just have to slow this game down.
Banks in play action, going to throw it across the middle. It is caught by Malm, and he's got an opening. Albert to beat at the 50, 45-40. Speed versus speed. Who's going to win? 10-5. Ashton Malm wins. Touchdown, McPherson. 82-yard receiving touchdown for Ashton Malm. He's got 2 touchdowns on the game already. We've got a shootout at Mac here for homecoming. It's 14-13 Augusta with 3:54 to go first quarter.
Lane, remember when I said to slow down this football game? Yeah,
Forget that.
Screw that. Just throw it to Malm and let him run. 82 yards. Again, just another slant play. It was almost like the first play that Augusta ran on their first offensive possession, but just an extended slant play, a post play. Just get the ball to Ashton Malm, let him go one-on-one and make a play.
Jackson Hoover trying to tie the game. Good snap, good hold. The kick, good. Tie game at 14 apiece. And it is still in the first quarter, 3:54 remaining in this opening frame. We're back after this. You're listening to Bullpup Football on KMCP. Take your game to the next level at McPherson College, home to KCAC champions, NAIA All-Americans, and champions of character. McPherson College is a growing campus with expanded athletic facilities, updated dorms, and a new student center opening in 2025. Learn about our 40-plus majors and pre-professional programs, scholarships, and graduating without debt at macbulldogs.com. Your journey to greatness starts here. It's a great day to be a Bulldog.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
What an offensive onslaught we have here in McPherson. We're tied at 14, and we're 8 minutes and 6 seconds into this game. Ashton Malm with his second receiving touchdown of the game. And that one went for 82 yards.
Yeah, Lane, 3 catches, 143 yards so far. 34-yard touchdown catch earlier, 7-yard reception for his second reception, and then that 82-yard touchdown run as well. So 143 yards, and he's almost back to his average per game.
Ensuing kickoff is away, and it will bounce at the 1. Albert going to let it bounce, and then after 4 bounces, it finally went across the goal line. But had that stayed in play about a second more, Albert was just letting it go. McPherson could have picked it up, but instead it just crossed that white painted line, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Augusta at their own 20.
Yeah, that would have been a huge mistake for Augusta there if that ball would have checked up and not gone into the end zone and the Bullpups were able to recover, or even get the Orioles pinned down there at their own 1 yard line. But now this offense is back out there. Let's see what they can do on their first play of this drive.
2 plays, 2 touchdowns so far for Augusta. 80-yard touchdown pass to Brecken Albert, 67-yard run for the quarterback Brody Haskell. On the first play, they're going to throw it across the middle, and it's knocked away and incomplete. Intended on the slant pattern for Roman Bridwell and broken up by Keaton Crane at the 35. Incomplete, makes it 2nd and 10.
Yes, finally. To get to the second play of the drive.
Not a touchdown.
No, but that was
I see you, though.
that was an excellent in coverage by the cornerback Keaton Crane. He did a nice job just making sure that his hand was right in the way and did not allow the reception by Roman Bridwell.
He didn't catch a pass last week, but he's still a guy to watch out for. In the shotgun, they're going to hand it off up the middle, now cutting to the right and down to the 25. Just a gain of about 5 yards to bring up 3rd down. Gunnar Highfill on the rush, I believe. No, it was not. It was Owen Roberts. My apologies. But Roberts with a 5-yard rush. It's 3rd down and 5 coming up for Augusta with 3.5 minutes to go in this first quarter in this tied game.
Yeah, everything I've watched from this Orioles offense has been kind of about they can run the football well, they can throw the football well. It's going to be how this offensive line holds up right now. And early on in this game, especially after that rush, they've held up really well.
3rd down and 5 for Augusta in the shotgun. 1 receiver wide each side. They go with 1 back on each side. Play action, throwing to the near side. A high catch somehow brought in by Albert. He had to tip it twice with his left hand and brought it down to his chest to move the chains for a 1st down at the 37-yard line.
What a catch there by Brecken Albert. I mean, he was Dane Becker was all over him. He was so covered that he just tipped it up into the air to himself and was able to bring it down one-handed. Man, what a play.
He's a terrific receiver. He had an Odell Beckham-like touchdown in their loss to Chanute earlier this year. On 1st down, they hand it off. Robert stuffed at the line on the right side. Forward progress will mark him for no gain. Nolan Piercy, one of the first ones there to stop him in his tracks.
Yeah, Nolan Piercy, again, like we talked about in the pregame, he's the guy that's been kind of the staple of this linebacking core the entire year. 24 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 1 fumble recovery, does have an interception. I mean, Nolan Piercy is the guy that they're going to have to lean on here with Asher Allen, and I've seen Dylan Hall now in the middle linebacking spot as well with Brody Millicent on the other side.
Yeah, Hall's usually a defensive tackle. Same formation, play action, rolling to the right, screen pass caught by Roberts, and they have an opening down the near sideline, 40, 35, 30, and tripped up and brought down by Dakota Lynn inside the 20. but Augusta is in the red zone after that little trickery play action, and dumped down to the running back. They'll mark him at the 17 or 18-yard line. It's the former 17. First down for Augusta. 2:01 to go, first quarter, tied at 14.
Yeah, that time with just a little misdirection, they were able to catch the Bullpups just a little bit over-aggressive on this young linebacking core, and were able to make him pay with that screen pass.
Same formation, shotgun, a tailback on each side, one receiver each side. Handoff, left side, opening 10, 5, touchdown Augusta. Jaden Harris with his first carry of the game. He only had one carry last week, and it's 20-14 Augusta, 1:49 to go, first quarter.
The Bullpups that time a little out of position, kind of in the linebacking core as well, and with the safeties, and just not able to hold eye discipline enough and hold contain, and just allowed that rush, as that was again another misdirection read option play where the quarterback Haskell made the right choice, right decision, handing off that football.
Trying to make it 21-14. The PAT by Haskell is good, so he does so. 1:49 to go, first quarter. We've seen a combined 5 touchdowns between the two teams. Augusta has a 7-point lead. We're back in 30 seconds. You're listening to McPherson High School football on 98.9, 1540 KMCP.
From spring planting to landscaping and fall cleanups to winter snow removal, LS Tractor is your performance pack tractor for all seasons. Our universal skid steer quick attach system makes switching out attachments a breeze, and our tough heavy lifting loaders give you added strength for any job. Start with reliability and power, stay for a wide range of capabilities, attachments, and implements. Get more features for less money. Start blue, stay blue with LS Tractor. Visit Moundridge Tractor, where customer service has been our business since 1985.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
1:49 remaining in the first quarter. McPherson now trailing Augusta 21-14. 5 combined touchdowns between the two teams. Augusta up to 227 yards of offense. McPherson with 170. Augusta with that 227. Last week, 228. In their 3-0 loss to Abilene. Ensuing kickoff, bounces on the turf, bounces high at the 10, and is returned on the far side by Hoffman, finding an opening, spun down at the 30, but another flag comes in way back there. The last kickoff saw McPherson called for a holding. We'll see if that one happens again.
Yeah, that's now the second penalty on McPherson here tonight, if my calculations are correct. Both on kickoffs, however, but this is not the right way you want to start these drives when you really need to be in good field position. But back them up 10 yards. They'll start from the 15-yard line, it looks like, and we'll see what the Bullpups offense can do from here. I think Nolan Piercy still thinks it's from the 25. Now he backs up, but
3 possessions on offense. Touchdown, punt, touchdown. Both touchdowns to Ashton Malm. One from 34 yards and then the other from 82. 1:45 to go first quarter. McPherson will have the ball at their own 15 on the right hash. 2 receivers wide left, 1 to the right plus a tight end. Hand off to Becker. Finds an opening up the middle. Spins away from one would-be tackler. Driving as he's held up at the 19. They'll stop him right there. Gain of 4 yards for the tailback on first down.
Yeah, that's a tough 4 yards there for Dane Becker. I mean, he's had linebackers and safeties all over him from this Orioles defense, and him just able to fight through contact and keep the legs churning to pick up that 4th yard.
Second down and 6 is what they'll call it with 1:15 to go first quarter. McPherson trailing 21-14. A high-octane offensive matchup we'd have. If you like offense in football, this is the game for you, but we may be here a while. 2 receivers wide left plus a tight end, 1 to the right. Play action. Bankton rolls to the right on a bootleg. Wide open. Caught by Piercy. 30, 35, 40. Down the sideline. Pushed out of bounds. Just past the 40-yard line. A terrific catch and run by Nolan Piercy, the backup tight end. That'll move the sticks for a first down for McPherson.
Yeah,
they actually will move him back a little bit. They say he went out of bounds at the 33. That's still a first down, though.
Yeah, absolutely, and they used Nolan Piercy there like they've used Bo Barkley at times this season, just out of the backfield as like an H-back tight end type where you sneak him out, you just try to throw him the football on like a 4-yard out route and let him pick up the rest, and that time hit him in stride, picked up a nice chunk of yards and good for a first down.
Clock stops after going out of bounds. 56 seconds to go in the first quarter. Bankton looking for help, but he's down in the backfield. A sack on the play. Don't know if that was just a busted coverage O-line or if that was a miscommunication, but down to the 29 after taking that sack, just the 4th sack they have allowed all season, and it'll be second down. Actually, a loss of about 4 yards, so second down and 14 coming up for McPherson.
Yeah, this offensive line this year has done a really nice job of keeping the quarterback clean and keeping Bankston clean. And at that time, just a breakdown, it looked like on the offensive line, just unable to pick up a blitz or pick up a backer coming in, and down went Carter Bankston.
And bear in mind, I think 2 of those sacks were in Week 1 against Great Bend. They're in the shotgun. Bankston looking to throw. Fires quickly. It's caught. 35. Near side. It's Ashton Malm getting off of one man. Flag comes in. 2 of them do. I think this may be a face mask call. It looked like something wonky was going on the upper body of Ashton Malm, either the face mask or the horse collar. So this one might be going McPherson's favor, but we'll double check. 6 seconds to go in the first quarter as the clock stops with the penalty.
Yeah, Malm fighting through contact. Picked up 9 yards before he went down, but I think this penalty is going to take him another probably 15 yards.
Well, maybe a little bit shorter than that. I think they have right now just about 5 yards, but because they have the ball down at the 44.
Incidental face mask.
Oh. Incidental. Okay, it's an
Yardage good for a first down.
He said incidental face mask, so basically unintentional or just hitting the face mask, not grabbing it, but just hitting it. Don't really have that rule in the higher rankings anymore in college or professional where it's 15 the whole way, but this one just a 5-yard face mask, but it's still a first down, and the clock will wind to end the first quarter. A shootout in this first quarter, McPherson trailing 21-14 over Augusta. We'll be back in 30 seconds for the beginning of the second quarter. You're listening to McPherson High School football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
Here's a bright idea. Predictable billing. At Idea Tech, you sign up for a plan, you get the speed you paid for, and you know what you'll pay. No nasty surprises hiding in the fine print. No wondering why your bank account is suddenly $60 lighter. At Idea Tech, you get what you paid for and pay what you expect to. No fine print shenanigans, predictable billing. Another bright idea from Idea Tech.
It's simple. Get Idea Tech fiber internet at ideatech.com.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Coverage of McPherson High School football brought to you by McPherson College. You bring the dream, we'll build the team. Success is a team effort. Begin building yours at McPherson College. It's a great day to be a Bulldog.
Go Dogs!
We're also brought to you by Nextech Wireless. You can stream every game live with the Ad Astra Radio app powered by Nextech Wireless. Find the latest phones and devices at the best prices. 21-14, Augusta leading McPherson, and we're just through one quarter of play. McPherson, before this drive, with 170 total yards of offense. They're going to have first down and 10 at their own 44, so they're at about 29 yards so far in this drive to make it 199 yards in one quarter. But Augusta, 227 in the first quarter. They've only had the ball for about 2.5 minutes. The first 2 plays were touchdowns. Their second one went a little bit longer, a 2-minute drive, but still scoring on that drive. McPherson trailing, but with the ball. They're in the shotgun, trips to the left, one receiver wide to the right. Bankston waiting for the snap. Millicent in motion. Now he takes a snap, looking, fires, caught. Ingalls midfield, pushing forward, down maybe just about a yard short of the line to gain, but a 9-yard reception. Nope, they're going to give him the full 10 and make it first down and 10 McPherson on that catch by Paxton Ingalls.
Yeah, again, that time it was just that simple hitch pattern. You sit down kind of in the, I wouldn't call it a zone because Augusta's running a pretty much man-to-man concept across the board with a single high safety. And so Ingalls was just able to make the guy believe that he was going on a go route or a seam route and was able to sit down, catch the football, and pick up 10 yards.
First and 10 now at the Augusta 44-yard line. In the shotgun, trips to the right with a tight end, 2 receivers, 1 receiver wide left. Fake handoff, and Bankston's going to run near side. 45-40, leaps over a man on the ground, and then stymied at the 36-yard line, which is where he needs to go to possibly move the chains. Are they going to mark him short by a half a yard? They will. A 9-yard gain to make it second down and 1.
Yeah, this Orioles defense, they're really playing the run hard, but that time, if you just use a little misdirection, you use that little read option play and allow the quarterback to take it, they now have to respect both the running back and the quarterback, which hopefully can get him off the running back just even if it's for a half a second.
Second down and 1 for McPherson. 10:35 to go, second quarter. McPherson trailing 21-14. Looking to throw. Screen pass near side. Caught by Mom. Looking for some blocks. He gets them. Cutting left, but now he's in no man's land at around the line of scrimmage. Brought down by Orioles for no gain on that screen pass. Third down and 1 coming up for McPherson.
Yeah, it almost would have been better just kind of following the block of Nolan Piercy and just picking up that 1 yard. There were 3 guys there, so there wasn't enough space for him to pick up more than just about 1 yard. But with the route he took, he only picked up a half a yard, if that. He would have been better off just taking it up the field better.
Third down and 1. They bring in the fullback, Mason Miller, into the game. Millison is still in. They're going to go with 2 tight ends practically on the right side. Piercy lined up just to the right hip pocket of the right tackle, and then Miller behind him. But it will be a play action, looking to throw. Banked in high, has Malm in stride, some contact, and down it hits the turf, incomplete, and no flag. And what looked like maybe some contact, but Malm slow getting up, but he gets up under his own power. That'll bring up 4th and 1. The McPherson bench wanted a PI call. They didn't get it.
Yeah, they had the perfect guy to the Bullpups in Ashton Malm with the mismatch against the backup cornerback in number 4 Roman Bridwell. Normally, so far this game early, the Orioles have gone with Brody Haskell or Brecken Albert on Malm, but that time Bridwell was just a step slower than Malm.
Offense staying on the field, but a timeout called by Augusta with 9:38 to go in the second quarter, I should say. McPherson trailing 21-14 over Augusta. While we have this pause in the action, let's thank some of our sponsors for helping us out all year long. McPherson College, Idea Tech, Prairie Hills Financial with Glenn Snell, Pleasant View Home, McPherson Car Connection, The Boiler House, People's Bank and Trust, Erickson Custom Building, Midway Motors, Prairie Land Partners, American Family Insurance with Steve Barr, Jar Automotive, Iron Horse Financial, Bethany Village, Advanced Physical Therapy, and 37 Print Go. I'd like to thank them and everybody else for helping us out all year long to give you coverage of Bullpup football. McPherson faces 4th down and 1 at the Augusta 37-yard line. Offense coming back out onto the field. They're going to bring in an extra tight end again as Jaron Stutzman comes in, as well as Bo Barkley, and then 2 backs as well, Dane Becker and Brody Millison, and then just 1 receiver, which is Ashton Malm. So this will be interesting to see what McPherson will draw up right here. We'll see what offensive coordinator John Montgomery has drawn up for McPherson.
Yeah, I think you go right back here to you've got 2 tight ends. You're in a 22 personnel, so 2 running backs, 2 tight ends. I think you go right back to Dane Becker here.
1 back on each side. They're going to actually hand it off. Millison lowers the head, stuffed, driving. He's not going to get it. He is short of the line to gain. No gain on the run on 4th and 1, and Augusta's going to take over on downs.
An excellent stand there by the Orioles. They got the incidental contact, which knocked over Ashton Malm on the post play, which was excellent coverage by Roman Bridwell, and was unable to pick up the 3rd down. Was the Bullpups, and then on the 4th down, they kind of got to the right play they wanted. They stacked the box, and the Orioles came down into. They flowed downfield pretty well and was able to stuff Brody Millison in the backfield.
So Augusta takes over with the 21-14 lead with 9:32 remaining in the first half. And they do so this time in the best field position that they've had the entire game. They're going to be at their own 37, but there's some – I wonder what's going on. There's a little bit of miscommunication. I think one football actually went way out of play and some communication with that, but still – we'll get back underway with 9:32 to go in the first half. They're in the shotgun. Same formation they've had the entire time. This time a fake pass. Now rolling to the left. Haskell gets away from 1 man, bullying his way, brought down by Millison, but still a good gain and maybe enough for a first down. Or will they mark him a yard short? Nope. One official says yes. The other says no. They're going to give him the first down.
Just a quarterback power run here to the near side of the football field, and Haskell was able to make 1 man miss kind of in the backfield, fight through some contact to pick up 11 yards. The Bullpups have a couple of backups in the game right now as well in the linebacking core. Number 9, Carter Melton's getting some run kind of at the middle linebacker position too.
Looking, or actually fake handoff at a keeper again. Haskell right side, met up for maybe a gain of 1 at most. The front line for McPherson was there. Dylan Hall, Jaron Stutzman, and Brody Millison all helping to bring him down. A gain of 1 yard on first down from Haskell.
An excellent job there by Jaron Stutzman and Dylan Hall. They set the edge. They remained disciplined and really used contain on that to keep Brody Haskell kind of in the tackle box, and were able to clean him up after just a pickup of 1.
Second down and 9 at their own 48. 8:37 to go first half. Augusta leading McPherson 21-14. Haskell getting set in the backfield. Same formation they've done all game long. It will be a handoff to a tailback this time, and getting tripped up is Jaden Harris past midfield, but to the McPherson 47. That will make it third down at about 4 yards for the Orioles.
Yeah, this is a big spot here for this Bullpups defense. They need to get off the football field in a bad way after the turnover on downs, get some momentum back on this sideline, bring some energy back over on this side, and get the Orioles offense off the field.
And this is an Orioles offense that's been pretty spectacular, pretty disciplined as well. They had 3-4 turnovers last week, none so far. On third down, they'll hand it off, tailback, stop and go, move up the middle. He goes driving, but down short by about a yard. Hand it off to Owen Roberts, and they'll mark him at the 44. They need to get to the 43, and it's 4th down and 1 coming up for Augusta.
Yeah, almost the exact same position the Bullpups were in just on their offensive possession, and the Orioles defense was able to hold up. Bullpups have the opportunity to hold up here on 4th and 1 as well.
The tight end, Cade Kamak, is now moving from left to right, lining up, and one receiver wide on each side. They all check the wristbands they have on their left side, which has the play call sheets. McPherson stacking the box. Nobody is back deep as a safety. Now Kamak lines up under center, does a hard count, and Carter Leathers crosses the line, and that's going to be an offsides call and give a first down to Augusta.
Defense number 71.
Excellent use of the hard count there. You've seen that a couple of different spots, kind of in the NFL, the college starting to go to it a little bit, but bringing the H-back or tight end under center where you may be a quarterback sneak, you still have your eyes on the quarterback because he could still get the snap before the tight end gets there, but just going under center where you haven't been all game long, kind of confused the Bullpups defense.
Same formation, but this time given to the quarterback on the shotgun snap. He keeps it, running to the left, and gets no gain on the play. He got met up in the backfield and then met up on the left side by Colt Chapman and Jaron Stutzman. 2nd and 10 coming up for Augusta. 6:40 to go first half, with the Orioles leading 21-14.
Yeah, another excellent job there by Jaron Stutzman and Colt Chapman coming up from a safety position to fill the run game there into that run fit, and just did not allow Haskell to get anywhere on that play.
2nd down and 10. Haskell hands it off. Left side, tripped up, still staying upright is Harris, but then just a short gain of about 2 yards to the left side. Tripped up and brought down at the 36-yard line, so give him 3 yards. 3rd down and 7 coming up for Augusta.
Again, Colt Chapman coming up from his free safety position to make it to lay a hit on the running back Jaden Harris, and he has done an excellent job here in the last 2 plays of just saying, you know what, I'm going to try to stop the run here and doing so effectively.
We've had kind of an anomaly in this quarter. 35 combined points in the first quarter, no points in this quarter so far. A clap but a fake snap, looking to the sideline. Timeout called by Augusta. That's their 2nd of the half, and they have 1 timeout left in the second quarter. McPherson trailing 21-14, 5:37 to go in the first half. So after getting sped up a little bit, both these teams kind of slowing down just a touch, but still nickeling and diming their way down the field. Of course, McPherson turned it over on downs on their last possession, but this time Augusta facing 3rd down and 7 in McPherson territory. So what differences have you seen in this second quarter rather than the first?
Yeah, I think a mentality change here for the Bullpups defense so far. They made some adjustments. They put some guys in a little bit better spots than what they started the game with, and you're kind of seeing it. The Orioles offense is not necessarily confused, but they're just not having the same holes that they had in the first couple of drives they had in that first quarter. But the Bullpups have made adjustments. The Orioles are making adjustments on the defensive side as well. This is just the chess match that is football.
5:37 to go first half, a league matchup and homecoming for McPherson at home against Augusta. I'm Lane, that's Nathan. Thanks for spending your Friday with us. Augusta has 3rd down and 7 at the McPherson 36-yard line. A snap to Haskell and a play action, looking to throw, one-on-one. It is intended for Albert. It's overthrown and dropped by Malm, the defensive back, and incomplete, but it's going to be 4th down. Malm had Albert beat. Usually you'd see that on the other side of the ball. This time, Malm there defensively to break it up and force a 4th down.
I was going to say, if you need to go speed on speed, you might as well put one of the fastest guys in Kansas high school football out there at cornerback and just tell him, you know what, don't let anybody beat you deep. And somehow, Brody Haskell overthrew both of them.
The thing is, Albert's got the size advantage, though, 6'2 over 5'10". So that's the difference between the two. But the speed, certainly about 50-50, or maybe if you have to give an advantage, maybe to Ashton, but it would be pretty close. 4th down and 7, offense on the field. And they will snap it, play action, and in trouble is Haskell left side. He's brought down from behind for a QB sack, and they'll turn it over on downs. Dylan Hall, Johnny on the spot to bring him down, and McPherson gets it back at their own 39-yard line.
That's exactly what the Bullpups need. Excellent job by this defensive line. They even before the play action was over, they were already in the backfield and had Haskell surrounded, and Haskell had nowhere to go. Turnover on downs, an excellent sack. Dylan Hall there, and he's another guy on this defense that needs to step up from his defensive tackle position. He's been all over the field in that middle linebacker role as well, and has played a really good football game here tonight.
Say without a doubt the best defensive possession we've seen from McPherson, and you called it, partner. They've really settled in a different mentality in the second quarter. They did so there. On 1st down for McPherson, play action. Bankson rolls to his left, feels the pressure, fires. Barkley caught, 45, lowers the head across midfield at the Augusta 49 is where he's finally dragged down. A 12-yard gain on 1st down. I think that back's looking okay, at least for right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And Lane, I really like what the Bullpups are doing with their 2 tight ends right now, and Nolan Piercy and Bo Barkley, and just getting them out into space. They need somebody in that intermediate area, that 5 to 10, 15-yard range, to kind of bring this defense back down and allow Ashton Malm to have space downfield.
2 receivers wide right, tight end receiver left. 1st down and 10 at the Augusta 49. Ingles in motion, but it's a handoff. Becker left side finds the edge, lowers the head inside the 45 to the 42-yard line. 7 yards on 1st down from Dane Becker, the man in the running back, I should say. The 5'11 junior, a guy who only had 22 yards last week but had over 100 yards in each of his first 5 games. He is getting back to that rhythm so far. Absolutely,
and him, I'll say it, him not practicing the first couple of days of this week because of a bone bruise, that will be more beneficial than most people think. It's just getting him off his feet, getting him a little rest right now. He's been used a ton. Just getting him a little rest this week probably is going to pay more dividends than not.
2nd down and 2, McPherson with the ball. 4 minutes to go, first half, down 21-14. Fake handoff, Bankson keeps near side. Got a man on his onto the ground in skates, but only gets 1 yard as he was tripped up. And Carter Bankson with the rush that time. Actually, they'll give him, one official near side said no gain. Well, actually, they'll give him a yard. So 3rd down and 1 at the 40-yard line in Augusta territory for McPherson.
Yeah, same spot in this last drive. The Bullpups need to get somewhere. They just need to pick up a yard, get this 1st down, and then they can kind of take that deep breath and let the rest of the drive go and find a way. This time they brought in the fullback here, so we'll see what they do with the fullback, H-back, and a second tight end.
Yeah, that's fullback Mason Miller. But Bankson in the shotgun. High snap over his head, hitting the turf, and he has to dive on it. Oh, man, another mental mistake by McPherson, and that's going to force 4th down and long, and they're going to punt it.
Yeah, just a high snap there. The snap was meant for probably somebody around 6'2", 6'3", and Carter Bankston's 5'8". So right over Carter Bankston's head, and you're going to have to punt this away. Just when we thought a drive was going well, then just one little mistake. All it takes is one mistake in football, and things can derail, but now you come back and you have momentum into this defensive possession knowing you can get off the football field.
Jackson Hoover collects it, runs to the right a little bit, then punts it high into the air with a little backspin, but it takes McPherson bounce near side and out of bounds at about the 10-yard line. Jackson Hoover with a terrific punt that time, and that will make it 1st down for Augusta. They'll mark it right at the 10. So that is a punt of about 43 yards.
Yeah, it was an excellent punt there. That's just the rugby-style punt you've been seeing in college football for a while where the punter just kind of gets a head of steam going a little bit, and they try to just hit this end-over-end ball. And instead of having it kind of turn over in the air like a spiral or a throw where you get more yardages, there you get a little bit more roll. And that's your special teams segment of the week.
We talked about this last week. We're mentioning this more and more. May have to get it sponsored. We'll see. First down and 10 at their own 10 for Augusta. Now they do get the ball to start the second half, and now they have it in a handoff up the middle on first down, stuffed at about the 10, maybe the 9-yard line. They'll mark them at the 10, no gain on first down. But Augusta with the ball, and they do get the ball to start the second half, and Augusta's up 21-14.
Yeah, they're really in a good position here to kind of double dip, if you will. Go get a score on this in this half, and then get the football back and go score it, and really put this game into a tough, reachable scenario as a 3-touchdown lead.
Now, they only have one timeout left in this half with 2 minutes remaining, though. Second and 10 at the 10. Handoff, finding an opening, then cutting near side. Owen Roberts, stop-and-go move, juking to the left, and then brought down from behind for a gain of 8 yards at the 18-yard line. So a lot of stutter stepping on that play, but only getting about 8 yards was Owen Roberts. Third down and 2 coming up for Augusta.
Excellent job there by Carter Leathers, the 6', 245-pound sophomore defensive tackle. He played relentlessly, didn't give up on the play, and was able to run it down from the backside and bring down the running back.
In the shotgun, 2 receivers wide to the left, 1 wide right. Tailback in the backfield, fake handoff, quick pass right side. It is caught by K-Mac. Down the sideline, 30, cuts left, 35, 40. Doesn't quite have the speed, so it's Millicent who tracks him down and maybe went out of bounds at the 45, 46-yard line. That is a gain of 28 yards. They actually give him the 47, so 29. And, yep, stopped the clock because he went out of bounds with 1:12 remaining in the first half.
Yeah, an excellent pickup there by K-Mac. And, I mean, they did the exact same thing that the Bullpups like to do. They just snuck their tight end or their H-back out into the flat. You pull the handoff on the RPO, just get it out into the flat with open space to the tight end and let him do the rest. Pickup of 28 yards.
He comes up to the quarterback to say something as he's lined up in a pistol set with a tailback behind him. Handoff, got away from one tackler. That's Roberts, and he finds an opening right side using his speed, and Malm will bring him down inside the 40 to the 36. Man, was he bundled up at the line of scrimmage and got out of it to move the chains for Augusta. First down. Clock will stop momentarily as they mark him at the 35, and then once it's spotted, it'll roll again with 1 minute to go in the half.
Lane, did you notice who was kind of getting out in front there to lay a block down? Brody Haskell, the quarterback, handed it off. That guy is fast. He outran the running back and was ready to shed a block there.
Well, he's going to look to throw here on first down. Pressure comes in, and down he goes. It's Bo Barkley for a sack on the play, the second sack by McPherson, and Augusta will call their final timeout of the half.
Yeah, Bo Barkley, an excellent job from his defensive end position off the edge, just making a play, and right when the Bullpups needed it the most, they get a quick breather with 37 seconds left.
They'll put 5 more seconds back on the clock, 42 seconds. He said 42.8. You've been in that press box. They have a capability to put decimal points on the scoreboard. Okay, because obviously with this being, the college stadium, and also they run track here, they have those decimal points. Nathan nodded yes, by the way. He that's why I said, oh, okay. But anyway, they're going to give him a loss of about 4 yards on that sack by Bo Barkley, a guy who came in questionable, who didn't practice for the first half of the week, and then kind of had a tightened back on Thursday. He's been really good on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, he really has. He's really taken control of that tight end position on the offensive side, and on this defensive side, he's been a stalwart at defensive end, having 6 tackles for loss, and now just picked up his 3rd sack of the season.
Haskell is going to look to throw on 2nd and 14, fires right side, caught just shy of the 30, and then brought down. They're going to say he's out of bounds. Yes, Ashton Malm brought down Brecken Albert, but they say he moved him backwards Albert moved himself backwards to the 33. So instead of what possibly could have been a gain of about 7, 8, maybe 9 yards, turns into just a gain of 6. 3rd down and 8 at the 33 with 37 seconds to go in the half. Clock stopped after going out of bounds.
I do like that play for Augusta. I mean, you'd think with Ashton Malm out there, this is just going to be a quick go route, but that time Albert sat down.
Looking to throw, trips to the left. They're going to fire it near side. It's caught at the 15. Cutting back up at the middle. Jet Heifel at the 5, and he crossed the goal line. Touchdown Augusta. The first catch for Jet Heifel of the game, and he scores to make it 27-14 Augusta. 27 seconds to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, it was an excellent read there by Brody Haskell. He had Heifel and actually had to fit it into a little bit of a cover 3 zone, and so Heifel while the ball was just a touch behind him, was able to sit down, catch it, make a man miss, and then pull a guy into the end zone for the touchdown.
Brody Haskell in to try to make it 28-14 to double up McPherson's score before going to the locker room. Good snap, good hold. The kick is no good, though. He missed it, so it will stay 27-14. But McPherson with 28 seconds to go first half with all 3 timeouts. They're going to have to try to cut the deficit closer before going into halftime with Augusta getting the ball to start the second half. We're back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Bullpup Football on KMCP.
At Blue Stem Communities, they believe in living well at every stage of life. With trusted locations in McPherson, Heston, North Newton, and Hutchinson, they're proud to offer vibrant senior living options from independent living to assisted care and skilled nursing. Each community is grounded in compassion, connection, and a commitment to nonprofit mission. Come and see what living well can be at Blue Stem Communities. Live well with Blue Stem Communities in McPherson, Heston, North Newton, and Hutchinson.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
27-14 Augusta with 28 seconds to go in the first half. And, you know, we've talked about how great this Augusta team is, but boy, are they really giving it to McPherson so far. Ensuing kick is bobbled on the ground, and Dakota Lynn's just going to have to pounce on it at the 22-yard line. It was kicked by Brody Haskell. He's kind of done those squib kicks time and again, and pounced on by Dakota Lynn with 26 seconds to go in the first half. All 3 timeouts for McPherson. We'll see what they'll do on the offensive end here to try to close out this first half.
Yeah, this is where you really just kind of spread it out. I mean, there's 2 things that you can do here. You can just go a couple of drop plays, give it to Dane Becker, and kind of get into the halftime, or you can try to take a shot or 2, spread out the defense, and go for it all.
2-by-2, they line up, looking to throw. It'll be a quick pass caught by Malm near side at the 30, where he goes out of bounds on the near side, an 8-yard gain, and just about 4 seconds came off of the clock on that play. So a good catch and then run out of bounds by Ashton. We've seen that, you know, that's normally the first play of the 2-minute drill, which is more like the 20-second drill at this point.
Absolutely, and that's just a simple play. That's a smart football player in Ashton Malm, catching the football, understanding what time is on the clock, and how far he can get while still trying to get out of bounds.
21 seconds to go in the half. Clock stops after going out of bounds. McPherson gets set. And again, McPherson has all 3 timeouts. Bankson in the shotgun, 2-by-2. Becker the tailback. Looking to throw near side. He's going to fire. Bad pass. Intercepted. Haskell 30, 25, 20, 15, and hit at the 11-yard line by Bankson. Just the second pick Bankson has thrown. That may have been some miscommunication, but the only guy there to snag it was Brody Haskell. And with 13 seconds left in the half, Augusta gets the ball back at the McPherson 11.
Yeah, that was just a classic cover, too. They had the safety over the top to help on Ashton Malm, and the cornerback there and Brody Haskell just sat down in coverage, and Bankston still threw the out route to the slot receiver, and Haskell was just there to pick it off and return it down to a goal-to-go scenario inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, they mark it at the 10-yard line, and Augusta in the shotgun. 1 receiver on each side, 2 tailbacks, 1 on each side. Haskell to throw across the middle. It is caught. Touchdown, Augusta. Dakota Lynn was there defensively, but it was Cade Kamak who made the catch, and it is 33-14 Augusta. 10 seconds to go in the first half.
You remember, we talked about that double dip. Now it's almost a triple dip that they can kind of run here and really put the Bulldogs, or the Bullpups, into a tough spot.
And boy, are they in a tough spot. Down by 19 with 10 seconds to go in the first half. Brody Haskell trying to make it 20. It's 33-14 Augusta. Haskell gets set as he waits for the PAT. He missed the last one. This one is on its way, and it is good. 34-14 Augusta, 10 seconds to go in the first half here on homecoming night for McPherson. Back after this in 30 seconds for the ensuing kickoff. You're listening to McPherson High School football on KMCP.
When today is unpredictable, staying focused on your long-term financial goal matters more than ever. Count on your Ameriprise financial advisor for personalized, goal-based advice to help you navigate now and stay on track for tomorrow. Call Prairie Hills Financial Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC today at 620-504-5062. Offices located in McPherson, Hutchinson, Wichita, and Dodge City, Kansas.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Augusta with incredible momentum, 34-14. They lead with 10 seconds to go in the first half. An interception by Brody Haskell way in McPherson territory set them up for a 10-yard touchdown. Now on the ensuing kickoff, it was returned on the near side by Caleb Postier, and he is brought down at about the 40-yard line with 6 seconds to go in the first half. Still all 3 timeouts for McPherson.
Yeah, you've got the opportunity here. Ashton Malm's going to the far side of the field, closest to the Augusta sideline. We'll see if the Bullpups or just take the knee and get to halftime and just try to reset here.
Yeah, they are. Dane Becker is about 15 yards or 10 yards behind Bankson. This is normally a kneel-down formation, and they're going to do just that. And this first half, this rough first half, is going to come to an end, and McPherson trailing 34-14 over Augusta at halftime. The Great Plains FCU halftime report is coming up after this. You're listening to coverage of McPherson High School football on 98.9, 1540 KMCP.
Tonight's coverage of Bullpup football continues next with the Great Plains Federal Credit Union halftime report. Coming up, we'll recap tonight's first half and catch you up on other scores around the area. 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Looking for memory care that feels like home? Pleasant View Home offers private rooms, 24-hour specialized care, and monitored doorways for safety so you can have peace of mind. Our memory care neighborhood includes a secure outdoor courtyard and its very own activity director to keep residents active, engaged, and fulfilled. This is care that puts the resident first, with compassion, comfort, and respect. Pleasant View Home in Inman.
At Health Equip, we are committed to bringing comfort to you and your home. That's why we specialize in health and mobility products designed to keep you feeling your best and living with ease. From CPAPs and BiPAPs to oxygen services and respiratory supplies, our full line of equipment is backed by friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to help find the right fit. Right now, enjoy 20% off our power mobility products and lift chairs. Find us at healthequip.com or visit us in Hutchinson, Newton, and McPherson. Health Equip, comfort, care, and a better way to live.
Looking for your next ride? This is Jason. Come see me at McPherson Car Connection, where you'll find quality used vehicles you can trust. McPherson Car Connection. Stop by today for a quick, no-hassle, enjoyable car buying experience.
McPherson's newest lunch and dinner spot is here. The Boiler House at 1725 East Euclid on the edge of the McPherson College campus serves fresh salads, sandwiches, and wraps, plus drinks for everyone. Open weekdays from 11 to 2, 4:30 to 8.
Protect your home with WaveTech Roofing and Guttering in McPherson. Eco-friendly synthetic roofing to lifetime gutter systems, we deliver durability you can count on. Call today for your free estimate or visit wavetechroofing.com.
Elevate every space with the Good Merchant in Lindsborg. From unique home decor to thoughtful gifts and beautiful accessories, you'll find the good stuff for every occasion. Shop your style at the Good Merchant, downtown Lindsborg.
With your halftime update, I'm Lucky Kid. The Kansas Jayhawks will be on the road Saturday. They travel to Texas Tech. That'll be a night game. The pregame coming up at 5. The kickoff at 6:30 on 94.7 KSKU. The Kansas State Wildcats will be at home on Saturday as they try to bounce back from last week's heartbreaking loss. They'll take on TCU. That game will kick off at 2:30. The Kansas City Chiefs have the Sunday night game this weekend. They'll be hosting the Detroit Lions. That game will have pregame starting at 6 on 96.7 KMPK. Meanwhile, the Denver Broncos will have the early bird game on Sunday. They're taking on the New York Jets at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. That game will kick off at 8:30 Central Time. The Dallas Cowboys have a noon game Sunday against the Carolina Panthers in Charlotte. KCAC football is taking the weekend off as they get ready for the beginning of divisional play next week. In that divisional play next week will be a big battle of undefeateds as McPherson will be taking on Friends, that game to be played in Wichita. This weekend's highlight event in the KCAC is in volleyball at McPherson as the Lady Bulldogs, ranked 9th in the latest NAIA poll, are taking on 5th-ranked Oklahoma Wesleyan. That game gets underway at 2 at Holman Fieldhouse. McPherson College Soccer is playing Oklahoma Wesleyan tonight. Bulldog Cross Country hosting the Carroll's Quincy Invitational on Saturday. The women's will run at 10, the men at 10:30. Bethany and Central Christian also taking part in that meet. Bethany Soccer is at St. Mary on Saturday. The women at 1, men at 3:30. Like football, Swede Volleyball has the weekend off. Central Christian College Volleyball also has the weekend off, but the soccer teams will be in action Saturday afternoon. They will be at Wayland Baptist. The women's match will get underway at 1, and the men's match will get underway at 3:30. We'll be back to check the scoreboard right after this.
More of the Great Plains Federal Credit Union halftime report is coming up after this. Visit GPFCU in Hillsboro or McPherson or online at GreatPlainsFCU.com. Bullpup football on KMCP.
At People's Bank and Trust, we value our customers. We know you have plenty of choices for your mortgage loans, but we think we have what you're looking for: relationship banking. And if you're considering refinancing or purchasing a new home, check our competitive rates before you make that change. Your payments will be made at home, and you'll receive good personalized service. That's how we've established many long-lasting relationships. Make a change, know your lender, and make your payments at home with People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When recovering from a hospital stay, being in the comfort of your home is important to heal. The compassionate home care team of nurses, therapists, social workers, and home health aides from Hospice and Home Care of Reno County can help you achieve that goal. We are your friends and neighbors, caring about our community and the people who live here. Hospice and Home Care of Reno County, your local not-for-profit agency serving a 50-mile radius of Hutchinson. We care how you live.
Kansas. Trust the power of Blue for your CanCare plan. Families trust Healthy Blue for doctor visits and prescriptions. New and expecting moms trust Healthy Blue for pregnancy support. And Healthy Blue provides extra benefits for your whole family. Choose the brand Kansans have trusted for more than 80 years. Visit choosehealthyblue.com/KS for more details. Trust the power of Blue.
Struggling to catch your breath? Whether it's asthma, COPD, or pulmonary dysfunction, Hutchison Pulmonology Associates are here to help you breathe easier and live life to the fullest. Don't let breathing problems hold you back. With expert care and personalized treatment, we're here for you every breath of the way. Visit hutchregional.com or call 620-513-4800 today. Breathe better, feel better with Hutchison Regional.
Checking the Ad Astra Radio scoreboard here tonight. After 1, Newton leading Hutch High 7-0. Second quarter, Bueller up on Winfield 14-0. Smoky Valley was up on Nickerson after 1, 14-0. Hillsboro right now leading Lyons 21-6. Sterling leading South Sumner County 26-7 at the end of 1. Augusta leading McPherson 21-14. That at the end of the first quarter in what has been a shootout of a game so far. Heston trailing Raleigh County after 1, 8-0. Andale, after giving up points to Wichita Trinity the first time they've trailed all season. Andale was leading 16-7 after 1. Gardner playing up on Douglas 28-0. That at the end of the first. In the second, Cheney and Wichita Collegiate, they are knotted up at 14. Pratt led Clearwater after 1, 7-0. Conway Springs now leading Ellenwood 8-0. That game is in the first quarter. One game that was played on Thursday night, Salina Central fell to Andover 48-21. Salina South is up on campus 34-0 in the second. And an early score, Halstead got a score on Southeast Lane to have the 7-0 lead. Don't have a further update on that game yet. Keep it here. We'll keep you up to date as we go through today. Another game of interest around the area. Great Bend leading Hayes at the end of 1, 7-0. And one game of statewide interest tonight. That involves Hanover and Axtell, 2 undefeated teams. Axtell with that 59-game winning streak. Hanover in the second quarter led that game by a score of 12-6. We'll head back to your game coming up right after this. On the Scoreboard Report, I'm Led.
At Midway Motors, we are here for you for every mile of life. whether you're shopping for a new or used vehicle or selling one. Midway Motors will buy your vehicle even if you're not in the market to buy one of ours. Just stop by one of our 5 locations and one of our appraisers will evaluate your vehicle and you can leave with a check the same day. It's fast and easy. Visit MidwayMotors.com for more information. Midway Motors, for every mile of life.
For over 80 years, Farm Bureau Financial Services has served the unique needs of the ag industry. We get to know you and your operation, providing coverage for your farm, ranch, machinery, crops, livestock, and so much more. Find out why we've been the #1 ag insurer for 25 years. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Call Farm Bureau agent Luke Bauer in McPherson at 620-241-0225.
#1 ag insurer across our territory. 1996 to 2021 SNL P&C Group Direct Written Premium.
One of the most important elements of success is knowing when to expand and when to focus on strengthening what you have. At People's Bank and Trust, we've done just that over the years, ensuring that we always have a solid base to provide for our customers and our community. At People's Bank and Trust, we never promise more than we can deliver, and what we deliver is safe, sound, reliable banking that puts you first. Let us put our experience to work for you and your family. People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Even trying to enjoy a fun event can be difficult after the loss of a loved one. Unanswered questions, feelings of stress and grief are only natural. As the owner and director of Inman Funeral Home, I bring over 25 years of experience bringing comfort and empathy during time of loss. Rely on me to guide you through all aspects of planning a funeral service with compassion, dignity, and respect. I'm Athena Johnson with Inman Funeral Home. Find me at inmanfh.com.
Bullpup football on KMCP.
Welcome back to the Great Plains FCU Halftime Report. An extended halftime here today because of homecoming night in McPherson, but mentality-wise, it's felt like anything but. Augusta, who enters 1-5 on the year against McPherson, who's 4-2. Augusta leads 34-14 at halftime. Now, we've talked about this Augusta team is a really good team. They're very athletic and an amazing offense, and their losses have pretty much just have been, having games get away from them. It's going to take a lot for McPherson to come back from this one, down 20 at the half, and not only that, going up against an Augusta offense with 351 yards in the first half.
Yeah, this has been a really, really, really good Augusta team so far here tonight. They came out well prepared. They came out fired up, ready to go. And I mean, I know you have a little bit of history with them, but this is a really well coached football team. Dawson Elliott's done a really nice job getting these guys prepared here tonight and prepared all season. Have they come up on the winning end of some of these games? Absolutely not. But like we talked about in the pregame, they're one of the best 1-5 teams in the state right now.
I'd say probably the best. I mean, especially after seeing this today, I think Augusta has the opportunity to turn some heads in the postseason, especially if they're able to, close out games. Right now, the standings see them at number 12, with them being 1-5. But with a chance of moving up, I mean, more than likely they'll be on the road for the first round. But if they can get up to that 9-10 threshold in these last 2 weeks, and next week they have Circle at home for their senior night, so they have if they pull this one off and then play like this next week, they have a good opportunity of finishing 3-5 and then maybe turning some heads in the first round of the playoffs. But we'll have to see. So McPherson, though, they have had 7 drives on offense. They scored on their first drive, in which they led 7-0. A 34-yard touchdown pass, Carter Bankton to Ashton Malm, capped it off. A 61-yard, 2-minute, 48-second drive. Augusta then stormed back in one play. 80-yard touchdown pass from Brody Haskell to Brecken Albert to make it 7 apiece. McPherson punted it away on their next possession, and then Augusta, again in one play, a touchdown, a 67-yard run by quarterback Brody Haskell, made it 14-7 Augusta. McPherson then turned it around, tied the game, 14 apiece, on a drive that went 85 yards in less than a minute. 82-yard touchdown pass, Carter Bankton to Ashton Malm, made it 14-all. Augusta bounced back once again, took the lead in the first quarter. It was 21-14 at the end of the first quarter. That final drive of their quarter, capping off an 80-yard drive, 17-yard touchdown run by Jaden Harris. Then nobody scored until the final 30 seconds of the second half, or the first half, I should say, the second quarter. McPherson turned it over on downs, then punted it away. After that punt, Augusta drove it down the field 90 yards, a 90-yard drive in 2 minutes. 33-yard touchdown pass from Brody Haskell to Jet Highfill. And then McPherson in a pretty much a 30-second drill, not quite a 2-minute drill, but a 30-second drill. An interception thrown by Carter Banks in just his second of the year, picked off by, guess who, Brody Haskell, which I don't know what it is about McPherson, but when he comes to McPherson, he has the game of his life. That happened in basketball last year, where he dropped – Joel Muse is to my right from the McPherson Sentinel. What do you have, like 30 points? Like 30-something points at the Roundhouse. McPherson won that game en route to them winning the state title, but he dropped like 30-something points in that game. So I don't know what it is about McPherson that he just balls out, but he picked it off, and then one play later, a touchdown pass, Brody Haskell to Cade Kamak from 10 yards out. And speaking of it, homecoming, Kamak's a homecoming king, and I'm sure he and Brody Haskell are feeling like kings after this first half, and just what an amazing half this has been so far for Augusta. And I mean, McPherson, though, they've had their opportunities time and again. They did a good job in that first quarter. That second quarter really just, we didn't quite see the, I don't want to say the firepower, but definitely the execution. We didn't quite see that as much in that second quarter.
Yeah, it's almost like this is this game of adjustments is happening, and the Bullpups made an adjustment there in that second quarter and really stymied the Orioles offense for a while. And again, on the other side, Augusta made some adjustments in that second quarter and stymied the Bullpups offense. And there will be adjustments made here at halftime, and it'll just be who makes better adjustments and who can execute those adjustments when they come out.
Absolutely. What numbers do you have for the first half there, Nathan?
Yeah, first off, we'll start off with Augusta. They're winning on the scoreboard, and they've got 341 total unofficial yards, with 126 of those coming on the ground. Their leading rusher is Brody Haskell with 72 yards.
Just 72 yards.
on only 6 carries.
Oh my gosh.
As well as Owen Roberts with 6 carries, 34 yards as well. Haskell also has a touchdown, as does Jaden Harris on the ground. He's got 20 yards on just 2 carries as well. And then through the air, 215 passing yards unofficially, with Brecken Albert having 3 catches for 99 yards and a touchdown. Owen Roberts had a 45-yard reception. Cade Kamak had 2 catches, a touchdown, and 38 yards, while Jet Highfill had his 1 touchdown reception for 33 yards. On the other side, the Bullpups have struggled a little bit to run the football. However, Dane Becker has not struggled overly to run the football. He's had 9 carries for 46 yards, but the team total right now is 36 yards because of Carter Bankston having a couple of fumble recoveries that go against his rushing yards as well, and he's got negative 10 yards given to him, while Brody Millison has 2 carries for no gain. Now, through the air is where the Bullpups are having a little bit of success. They've got 211 passing yards, with Ashton Malm wearing the number 85 today with 2 touchdowns, 6 catches, and 160 yards through the air. While Bo Barkley's gotten himself 2 catches for 27 yards, Nolan Piercy with 14-yard reception, and Paxton Ingalls with a 10-yard reception as well.
Augusta leading 34-14 over McPherson at halftime. The homecoming festivities currently happening right now, which we'll talk a little bit more about as we continue the Great Plains FCU halftime report. But Augusta currently on pace to do something that they haven't done in a decade, that is to defeat McPherson. They've only done so once. That was on September 18th, 2015 in this very stadium, a 19-13 victory for the Augusta Orioles. That was Coach Pav's only loss to Augusta. Of course, McPherson's only loss to Augusta in their 12-game history, this being game number 13. And it's all Augusta so far. McPherson has come back from deficits. This one's going to be a little bit more difficult than what we saw the 21-7 or 28-7, the 21-point comeback that they had to make against Rose Hill 2 weeks ago here in this building. And now, yeah, they're down just by 20, but this is an Augusta team that has been firing on all cylinders. We'll take a 60-second timeout. When we return, we'll talk a little bit more about this first half, give you some scoreboard updates, and then also talk about the homecoming festivities. So that's coming up in 60 seconds. You're listening to McPherson High School football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
At McPherson Laundry and Dry Cleaners, we take pride in helping our customers look good, and we're proud to be a part of downtown McPherson with drop-off and pickup services now at A5 Western. We can save you time with our laundry service and offer specialty services as well, including wedding dress cleaning and preservation, bedding, drapes, and blankets. Drop off and pick up from McPherson Laundry and Dry Cleaners at A5 Western in downtown McPherson.
Vince Lombardi once famously stated, "Individual commitment to a group effort is what makes a team work, a company work, a society work." I'm Keith Razak, and along with the insurance team at Farmers Alliance, we're cheering on all the local competitors this season. Your passion for the game and loyalty to your school fill us all with the sense of pride. Thanks for showcasing top-notch sportsmanship and talent, influencing our community in a positive way. Just remember, at Farmers Alliance, through it all, we're your biggest fans.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Welcome back to McPherson Stadium. We continue the Great Plains FCU halftime report. McPherson trailing Augusta 34-14 through 2 quarters of play. Currently, the homecoming festivities going on as we speak with homecoming King candidates Tegan Younger, Creighton Bird, Cameron Buckby, and Keaton Crane, and Queen candidates Brody Kuhn, Jensen Alexander, Andy Bushbaum, and Dulce Martinez. So that's going on right now at halftime here at McPherson Stadium, and it's a bit of a longer halftime because of that. But McPherson trailing 34-14, and don't worry, we'll let you know who wins King and Queen in a moment. I mean, you'll tell by the loud cheering that happens, which will be in about 2 or 3 minutes' time here at McPherson Stadium. But still talking a little bit about football, let's go ahead and take you through the Great Plains, or correction, the scoreboard updates going on around the state, which is brought to you by McPherson Dental Care. Buhler was up 14-0 at halftime. They're facing Winfield today. Correction, 21-0 at halftime. Again, they're facing Winfield here today. Buhler comes in unbeaten in league play, and they have a chance to possibly repeat, especially if McPherson were to fall in this game and Buhler were to pull it out against Winfield. Then, or actually, there's still the Mulvane because they're 3-1 in league play, and their final game is against Winfield next week. So, of course, McPherson has Buhler this time next week. So they could clinch at least a share of the league title, I guess they could say, if McPherson falls. Or actually, if Buhler wins in general. If Buhler wins in general, they clinch at least a share of the league title for the second year in a row. But still, they're up 21-0 at halftime over Winfield as we speak. Also looking around, Abilene led 21-6 at the end of one quarter over El Dorado. Heston, late in the second, trailing Riley County 24-8. Little River up 40-14 with 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. Or correction, now it's at halftime, I should say. Halstead down 48-7, but that's against southeast of Saline. Canton Galva trailing 24-20 late in the second half against Solomon. Newton up over Hutchinson 14-0 at halftime as well. Cheney trailing Wichita Collegiate 24-21 at the halftime break. Smoky Valley up 14-0 over Nickerson at halftime as well. One of the bigger games going on throughout the state of Kansas, and probably the game of the year, is a 5A league bout, but a rematch of regionals last year. Great Bend at Hayes. Great Bend is 6-0, one of the only unbeatens left in the state. 5A has quite a few unbeatens, though. Hayes is 5-1. Their only losses came against Manhattan. And at halftime, Great Bend led Hayes 7-0. Now, that's a rematch of regionals last year in which Hayes upset Great Bend, and Hayes ended up to be eventual state runners-up, only falling to St. Thomas Aquinas last year in the state championship. So those are the scoreboard updates, and those are brought to you by McPherson Dental Care, providing healthy smiles with a gentle touch. Before we talk a little bit more about this this first half, let's go ahead and thank some of the sponsors once again for helping us out all year long. Farmer State Bank, Crop Lumber, Mound Ridge Tractor, Blue Stem Communities, Health Equip, Hospice and Home Care of Reno County, Hutch Regional Med Center, Scooters Coffee, Farm Bureau with Luke Bauer, Inman Funeral Home, Headland Electric, Art Shirt Gear for Sport, the Bradbury Company, the Hub, MTC, and Gearing Hardware. Thanks to them and all of the sponsors for helping us out all year long. McPherson trailing 34-14 at halftime against Augusta. So, Nathan, you know, as we get into about the warm-up period, what should McPherson look to do, especially starting off the second half on defense?
Yeah, starting off on defense, I think you go kind of back to what you were trying to do in the second quarter. They mixed up a lot of what they were doing when it came to personnel and where they were putting guys onto the field. They were running kind of their base defense a little bit more, but with so many guys out in the linebacking core, they were switching guys in and out. Dylan Hall was going back to the middle linebacker and then back to defensive tackle, and I think it kind of confused the Orioles just a little bit on offense, and they were just unable to get anything rolling. I like what they were kind of doing there. However, what they really need to do is just get back to the basics here on defense and go stop the run. You say it every week, but go stop the run. It starts with that, and right now, if they can stop the run, they can keep this game close and give the offense a fighting chance.
We'll take another 60-second break. When we return, we'll give you second-half action between McPherson and Augusta. You're listening to Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
Life moves pretty fast, but not at Freddy's. When that first bite hits, you can't help but slow down. The secret to quality time is just quality and time. That's Freddy's.
Mom, what's wrong with them? That's called quality time. Don't stare.
Need reliable electrical work? Call Head Electric in McPherson. We are locally family-owned and committed to providing quality electrical services. Give us a call at 620-241-3757 or visit headelectricinc.com.
The Bradbury Company, headquartered in Mound Ridge, is a family-owned custom equipment builder, and they're hiring qualified candidates for manufacturing roles. Apply online at bradburygroup.com. The Bradbury Company, wishing the best of luck to all the teams.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Minutes away from second-half action between the McPherson Bullpups and the Augusta Orioles. Augusta leading McPherson 34-14 at halftime. We'll see how McPherson responds going into this second half, trailing by 20 against Augusta as they look to pull off a big-time road win here today and get only their second win ever over McPherson. Before we talk about that second half, congratulations to Creighton Bird and Dulce Martinez, the homecoming royalty here at McPherson High School. They were just recognized here on the field, and now they're going to get ready for the second half between these two teams. Could we see Augusta pull off an upset and finally do so, as they were close to doing so over the last 3 games, only falling by as much as 3 points, doing so against Mulvane, in which they actually led by 11 against Mulvane. Then Mulvane mounted the comeback to defeat Augusta. Mounted the comeback against Wellington as they trailed by quite a bit in the after the third quarter. They trailed 37-21. They came back to score late before falling after scoring a touchdown to make it a 1-point game and failing to convert the 2-point conversion to lose by 1, and then last week fall to Abilene 3-0, where they had a rushing touchdown that was late in the game called back due to a penalty, and eventually turning it over on downs. Last week they had, I believe it was 3 or 4 turnovers, none so far for Augusta. Meanwhile, McPherson with 1. That was a late interception, which set up Augusta to extend this lead, and now they have an opportunity to do so again to start off the second half. Augusta will get the ball first. So what do you think was said in the locker room at halftime, Nathan?
Yeah, I think what was said in the locker room was essentially, hey, guys, scoreboard doesn't matter anymore here. Let's just go play our brand of football. Let's get back to what we can do, what we know we can do. Keep it simple and just go play football. Go put good film on tape and come in and finish this game strong, bring some momentum back over to the McPherson Bullpup side, especially looking into the rest of this game and into next game against Buhler right here at home, rivalry week, and on senior night.
20 points is not unfeasible, and I mean, we saw them come down from a 21-point deficit as well, but that was in the second quarter, and then they scored to be only down by 14 at halftime, and then they had the ball to start off the third quarter to cut into that deficit and eventually win the game. That was 2 weeks ago against Rose Hill. This is a different Augusta team, though, but this is an Augusta team that has also struggled to finish off the game. And one of my keys to victory that I put down was for them to play at 100%, or 110%, I should say, for all 48 minutes. They've done so for the first 24. So what does Augusta do to keep the ball rolling, extend this lead, go up by 4 possessions in this second half to start off this second half against McPherson?
Well, I think right away it starts off with weathering the storm. You know McPherson's going to come out a little fired up after halftime, down by 20, and if Augusta can weather the storm and play good, clean football and keep good, sustained drives going, that'll be just fine for them. And again, like you said, they just need they have struggled to learn how to finish this year and finish off wins, and this is a good learning moment for them as well. They're trying to finish off a win and go get the victory here on the road with a big McPherson crowd here, and so they need to find a way as well. Like you said, given that 100%, just keep the foot on the gas pedal here, and where that's going to start is on this drive here. If they can come out and have a nice drive, even put up some points, then they're well on their way.
Even before, the last 3 games, they did lose 37-12 to Buhler, but they made it a close matchup through the first 2.5 quarters, and then Buhler pulled it away. And while that's the biggest loss that they've had on the scoreboard all season, I'd say the worst loss they maybe had was week 1 over what was then a red-hot Chanute team, and they've actually picked it back up after McPherson beat them a few weeks ago, but Chanute's picked it back up, and they're moving up on the regional rankings. But still, it's really been, Augusta, they have a chance to finish off what they started, and this is the time to do so against a really good McPherson team. So, will Augusta do so here on homecoming and win only for the second time over McPherson, both of which being in this very stadium, or will McPherson mount the comeback? Jackson Hoover spots the ball, and he will boot it away, but there's going to be an offside call on McPherson, and already a bad start because Colt Chapman, or maybe one other man, I want to say not Adrian Unruh, but maybe Nolan Piercy, but whoever was on the near side, they crossed the 40-yard line before the ball was kicked. So that's going to move him back 5 yards. That was Unruh.
Yeah, in this spot here, at least now you're only going 5 yards back. You're going to re-kick, and it outside of losing the 5 yards on the kickoff, as long as you have good kickoff coverage, you should be okay and can overcome this penalty.
All kickoffs that Jackson Hoover has had have ended in a touchback now, albeit just 2 of them so far. Both of them in the first half. So make it now 15 touchbacks that Jackson Hoover has had. And again, reminder, he's a sophomore. One heck of a leg. This year on field goals, should it ever come to that in this game. On field goals this year, he's 2 for 5, but one of those misses was from 49. And one or maybe 2 of those, or actually one of those was blocked. But now he spots the ball. They'll kick it from the 35 where the X is painted, where they kick it in college. He runs up. This will be a line drive kick, bouncing high into the air, bouncing a second time and returned at the 13-yard line. Brecken Albert finds an opening. Just Hoover to beat on the near side. 50, cuts left, 45, 40, and down from behind inside the 35. And Augusta with great field position right out of the gate.
Yeah, it looked like the Bullpups just didn't hold contain there on their kickoff coverage, and they were almost clumped up too far or too close on the near sideline here. But an excellent job by Brecken to read and react to that, and Brecken Albert to read and react to that and make a couple of people miss early on and be able to pick up a good chunk of yards and down inside the Bullpups territory down to the 34-yard line.
So that's where the offense for Augusta is going to set up shop. 350 yards of offense in the first half. Movement up front and the Bullpup cross the line. That's going to be an offsides call, and we've only had 9 seconds come off of the clock in this second half, and there have been 2 offsides calls on McPherson. That's going to move him up 5 more yards. So now to the 29-yard line goes Augusta after the penalty. In the shotgun, 1 receiver wide on each side, tight end to the right, 1 back on each side of Haskell. They're going to look to throw after the fake handoff, caught by K-Mac at the 20, 15, and then finally wrestled down at about the 12-yard line for a first down by Carter Busker, just shy of the 10-yard line. They're actually going to mark him at the 13, but Augusta back in business just to start off this second half, already up by 20.
Yeah, an excellent play call, and again, a really good throw there by Brody Haskell. He had the defender in between him, in between his intended target and K-Mac, and Haskell did. And Haskell had to fit that over the top and with enough space for K-Mac to turn it upfield.
Same formation, this time a handoff. Roberts on the right side, stop and go move, cutting to the left. Dakota Lynn will bring him down inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line. A gain of 5 yards on first down to Owen Roberts, the 5'10 senior.
And now this Orioles team, now that they're inside the 10-yard line and in the red zone here, they can kind of slow this down a little bit, use their run game a little bit more, and take some time off this clock if they really want to.
1 minute into this second half so far, and in business trying to extend this 20-point lead. A fumble on the play on the handoff down at the 10-yard line. They may have got it back, though. I don't see a whole lot of fighting for who got the ball. I don't see a whole lot of people pointing. Yep, Augusta got it back at the 10. It's a loss of 2 to bring up third down, but boy, a bad handoff to Owen Roberts. On the ground it went, but picked right back up by Roberts. 3rd down and 7 at the McPherson 10.
Yeah, that was almost very good for the Bullpups and weathering the storm a little bit and creating a turnover. This game, if the Bullpups want to come back in this game, creating a turnover here would be ideal.
2-by-2 set. They're going to hand it off near side. Roberts finds the edge at the 10, gets a key block inside the 5, left, flag down, touchdown, but this one may be coming back. A flag down at about the 5-yard line, as Roberts did find the end zone, but I don't think this is going to count. Brecken Albert, who's had one heck of a game, called for going with an illegal block in the back, and that'll be 10 yards to make it 3rd down and long now.
I was going to say, Lane, there, Brecken Albert was there, and Drew Borum, the right tackle, was there as well, and either one could have gotten the penalty there, but it was a good run by Owen Roberts to just see where the lane was at and go hit it for what could have been a touchdown, but unfortunately comes back for the Orioles.
Back to the 18 it goes, so it's 3rd down and 14. They are going to fake the handoff. Haskell will keep cutting up the middle, somehow stayed upright, but down just shy of the 10 to the 11. It'll be 4th down and about 7 yards coming up for Augusta with 10 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. They're going to bring, I believe, the field goal unit, but the kicker is Brody Haskell, the starting quarterback. Now, he's got some distance. There were times where he kind of missed it left or right or whatever, but he's going to have it from the left hash, and this is going to be just a 28-yard field goal for Brody Haskell to try to make it a 23-point game, albeit that's still a 3-possession game. Good snap, good hold. The kick on the way does have the leg, and it is good to make it 37-14 Augusta with 9:19 to go in the 3rd quarter. McPherson will have it for the first time in this second half. Coming up next, you're listening to McPherson High School football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
Let the party begin where the pizza never ends. Come fuel up, raise up a cup, gather up your grub at the hub.
Hey, it's Sammy from the Hub Brick Oven and Brewery, inviting y'all to join us in Mound Ridge. The station, Coffee and Bakery, is open at 7:30 a.m. Monday through Saturday for all your coffee, bakery, and ice cream fixes. Don't forget to try one of our delicious appetizers. Our brick oven is fired up from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Come get your grub at the Hub.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Augusta starts off the second half with a 28-yard field goal, 9:19 to go 3rd quarter. Augusta leads McPherson 37-14. McPherson will have the ball for the first time in this second half after this kickoff. Haskell runs, boots it away to the left side. It takes a bounce left at the 10 and out of bounds. So that's a good sign for McPherson. McPherson will have it at the 30-yard line. 35, I should say. My apologies.
Lane, on our road games this year, I don't know how many white hat officials have had that microphone or have used the microphone, the
Not
field
many.
mic. But I will say that is a nice pleasure here to have that microphone to explain some of the things that are going out on this field, so we can give our listeners and our viewers more information.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen that in baseball in the MLB where now the crew chief has a microphone to explain everything, and I think that's definitely key as well, especially after reviews. So McPherson will have it 1st and 10 at their own 35, their first possession of this second half. Trips to the right, one receiver left. That's Malm, who's in motion, going behind the quarterback. It'll be a backwards pass to Malm, but he's going to run to the far side and get just a short gain. It's just, let's call it a rush for Malm because it was a backwards pass, but it's only for 2 yards to the 37-yard line, maybe 2.5.
Yeah, that time they just want to get Ashton Malm kind of in motion. They want to find ways to get him the football in space and allow him to kind of work. That time they were on the strong side of the football field, so there were more defenders over there to stop him and just weren't able to get hat on hat, and Ashton had to step out of bounds after about a 2.5-yard pickup.
Not a bad play because it does stop the clock. On second down, handoff out of the backfield. Becker, boy, did he have a lane, but then he got tripped up, and he knew it. He knew he had a lot more yards in him on that play, but he goes down to the 41 for a gain of about 3 yards to bring up 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, the hole was wide open there. As long as he just was able to squeak through it, he had space to run. Could have picked up probably 15, 20 yards on the play, but got tripped up and fell to the ground, unfortunately, and only a pickup of 3 yards.
3rd down and 4 coming up, and this is a key 3rd down. They're at their own 41-yard line. 2 receivers wide right, tight end and receiver wide to the left. Puhala is in motion. It will be a handoff. Becker, they go right back to him up the middle. 1st down, spins away and across the 45, down to the 49-yard line. An 8-yard gain. He only needed 4. He got double that. 1st and 10, McPherson.
Dane Becker so far is running hard with the football, and he's fighting for every yard. He's really fighting for this offense, fighting for this team, and continuing to pick up really heavy yards and strong yards. He's almost running angry with the football.
We like angry runs. We saw that a lot last year with Catch Delaney. Dane Becker had quite a few of those as well as a sophomore season ago. 1st down and 10 at their own 49. 8:08 to go in the 3rd quarter. McPherson down by 23. Ingles in motion, right to left. Bankton takes the snap from the pistol. It's an option play. Pitch out. Millison somehow stays upright after Bankton got hit hard, and he's slow getting up in the backfield, but he does get up under his own power. No gain on that rush to Brody Millison on the option.
Yeah, just went with the option play there, and the defensive end for the Orioles just said, you know what, that was Griffin Tatum there laying the boom on Carter Bankston, and with that option play, you're given requirements that you have to fit, and that time Tatum's was Carter Bankston, so that hit was legal.
No gain, 2nd down and 10. Low snap but collected. Play action, roll to the right. Bankton fires, has Puhala. He makes the catch. No, he dropped it. It's on the turf. It was defended well by Jet Highfill, but Puhala not able to haul it in on the contact. 3rd down and 10.
That's again that play action bootleg out to the far side or out to the right side of the formation, and you just have a crosser over the middle of the field with Isaac Puhala, or the wide receiver that starts on the other side of the field, and normally it's wide open. That time it was actually covered pretty well. I'd actually probably say closer to a pass breakup than a drop, but now 3rd down and 10.
This secondary has been pretty good for Augusta. Again, they run a 4-2-5. That's 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers, 5 in the secondary. Receiver in motion, 3rd down and 10 in the shotgun. Bankton, 3-step drop. They rush 4. Fires deep across the middle, and Malm dropped it. It may have been deflected. It sure was, but it hits the turf, and it's 4th down and 10. And he did have it in his hands, and Malm knew that if he made that catch, that would have been a touchdown, but it hit the turf at the 30 in Augusta territory, but it's 4th down, and McPherson's going to bring out the punting unit. Jackson Hoover will be in to boot it away.
And Lane, that's one of the nice parts about that 4-2-5 defense like you talked about. You can put a bigger safety out there and make him almost a linebacker, if you will, and really make it a 4-3. But that 4-2-5 allows you to go almost like a Tampa 2 and pull that safety, that box safety, way deep onto the field and break up those passes deep downfield.
Hoover runs to the right. Contact made. Flag is down as the punt goes out of bounds far side. But this may be roughing the kicker and not running into, as boy did he get hit, and I think that's also a perk of holding the ball for as long as you can. But after he kicked, okay, they say running into, it is a 5-yard penalty, but the offense may come back onto the field. Yep, they will. The offense is back on the field because it'll be 4th and 5 now.
Yeah, Lane, that's that other call from the inadvertent face mask like we saw earlier in the game, but that running into the kicker versus roughing the kicker. Roughing the kicker is a 15-yard automatic 1st down, where the running into the kicker is just a 5-yard penalty. We'll replay the down, but now sets up this Bullpups offense in 4th down and medium, and the ability to to pick up a first down and actually keep this drive going.
4th down and 5, 7:07 to go third quarter. McPherson down 37-14 over Augusta. 2 receivers wide left. Play action. Quick pass on a slant pattern caught by Malm. Cutting upfield, upright, and a first down. How about the athleticism from Ashton Malm on the far side? Got hit behind the sticks, stayed up and stretched forward. Needed 5. He got about 8.
Yeah, what a play by Ashton Malm. Just an in-cut timing throw. Bankston put it right on the 85 of Ashton Malm, and Malm made one guy miss. I thought for a second was going to have to go down there, but kept running with tough 3-yard pickup after picking up the first down.
So they mark it at the 38-yard line in Augusta territory. The drive stays alive for McPherson, trying to mount the comeback. In the shotgun, Bankton looks to throw, fires it deep, has Malm. He may have overthrown him. He blazes out, but he could not get there. Just overthrown by a yard or two, incomplete. It hits the turf at the 10, and what would have been a touchdown had it been on target, but just a touch too much from Carter Bankton.
Yeah, and they had Ashton Malm right over there, but Bankston, I think, just needs to put a little bit more air under that football, put a little bit more rainbow, get that Russell Wilson rainbow ball going a little bit, and I think Ashton Malm's able to get underneath that football and catch it for a touchdown. Just that time, kind of put it on a line and just was unable to allow Ashton Malm to run underneath it.
2 receivers on each side, but they're going to hand it off to the tailback. Millison gets a good chunk of change, lowers the head inside the 30 to the 29. A gain of about 9 yards to make it 3rd down and 1.
Excellent run there by Brody Millison. He's kind of struggled to get going last game and then this game, and now that's a big run for him to kind of open him up and get some confidence back into him. And now the Bullpups 3rd down and 1 with the clock still ticking.
6 minutes to go in this third quarter, down by 23 points, 37-14. Bankton takes a snap, it's a QB design run, 1st down and more, near side, tripped up at about the 21-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle by Jet Highfill, but it was the quarterback that time keeping the ball and running it for a good chunk of change to move those chains.
I really like that quarterback power play for Bankston in this offense. They've used it sparingly throughout the year, but every time they do, they run it in the perfect spot, and that was an excellent 9-yard pickup.
2x2 in the shotgun. Becker the tailback. Hand off to Becker. Stop and go move. Trying to get away from a tackler in the backfield. He could not. Dalton Apple brought him down for a 5-yard loss back to the 25-yard line. And it will be 2nd and long coming up for McPherson.
That's a great play by Apple to come up from his linebacking spot. He read the play perfectly and honed right in on Dane Becker and was able to stop him in the backfield. And then Gunnar Carey came to kind of clean up the rest of the tackle, but that should go down as Dalton Apple tackle.
Absolutely, it should. McPherson now facing 2nd down and 15 at the Augusta 25. Millison now comes in at the tailback. Malm, the receiver, wide to the left. Trips to the right with a tight end and 2 receivers all bunched up as they're on the right hash. Play clock down to 4. Play action, pressure comes, but a quick pass, a diving attempt for a catch. Did he catch it? Yes, he did. Nolan Piercy got those loss of yardage back as he goes down to the 20-yard line to make it 3rd down and 10. But what a play by Nolan Piercy to lay out for that catch.
Yeah, what a play is right. I mean, Nolan Piercy laid out. He was parallel to the ground when he caught that football and was able to hold on through the ground and pick up that 5 yards, and now sets up that 3rd down and 10.
4:10 to go third quarter. McPherson facing 3rd down and 10, down 37-14. They are at the Augusta 20-yard line. They need to get to the 10. This drive has gone on for over 5 minutes, though, which started at their own 35. Play action, rolling to the right. Bankton going to keep. Now cuts left at the 15, lowers the head. He'll be short, but only by a couple of yards. A gain of 8 yards. 4th down and 2 coming up for McPherson.
Yeah, that time was going to try to run that bootleg out to the outside, but an excellent job by the defensive end to kind of set, contain, and not allow Bankston to get outside of him. Still picked up a good chunk of yardages. It looks like about 7 yards is what they're going to give him, but excellent job by Carter Bankston, but a real nice job by Griffin Tatum to make sure that Bankston couldn't get outside.
This will be the play of the game so far. It's 4th down and 3 at the Augusta 13. Two receivers wide to the left, plus a tight end. One receiver right, he's in motion, high snap. It's a jet pass, or just a jet near side. Malm, he's going to get tripped up at the 15. It'll be down for a loss of 2 on the jet pass to Ashton Malm, and it's a turnover on downs, and Augusta's going to get it back at their own 15-yard line.
Yeah, just went with that jet pass and tried to get Ashton Malm out in space, but the Orioles were all over it. They it almost felt like they knew that play was coming and was able to bring 4 or 5 guys up there, and an excellent job on the outside by the cornerback to bring down Ashton Malm by himself.
So now Augusta with the ball deep in their own territory at their own 15, but now up 37-14 on first down. Handoff up the middle, and in no man's land is the tailback. He's brought down by the front line for a loss of about 3 yards on first down that time.
Yeah, an excellent job by this Bullpups defensive front. They said, unfortunately, you're not going to run on us right now on this play. And they got after him and had the loss of 3. Good tackle for loss by pretty much the entire defensive front there. I
saw Carter Melton did come in as an extra guy up front, which he kind of forced a little bit of confusion up front after the run, but then it was Dylan Hall, Carter Leathers, and Jaron Stutzman coming in like a bat out of heck. Second down and 13. Taking the snap, rolling to the left. Haskell is going to fire it across his body. High catch at the 30, far side. Bridwell, 40, 45, 50. He's got a lane. Dane Becker tries to bring him down and does, but not before he goes to the McPherson 30-yard line.
What a throw there by Brody Haskell. Had to flip the hips, threw it from a sidearm spot. Haskell being a baseball player, signed to go to Butler County Community College as an all-state infielder, showed off that infield ability, dropped the arm slot, and was able to fire it across his body back to Bridwell. Bridwell had to stop, make the catch, made a man miss, and picked up another huge chunk of yards.
First down and 10 at the McPherson 27-yard line. Just over 2 minutes to go, third quarter. Augusta with the ball up 37-14 over McPherson. Play clock down to 7 for Augusta in the shotgun. Extra guys come in defensively as the edge rushers, but Haskell keeps far side 20, lowers the head. Flag comes in as there's a Bullpup without a helmet just all around near the backfield, but the flag was thrown on the far side around where the play was. That was Carter Melton who lost his helmet, but the officials are going to come together. We'll see what this penalty is. It would possibly, if it's on Augusta, take away a gain of about 7. Holding call on Roman Bridwell. Official almost said 10 yards from the previous spot, and then he just kind of corrected himself and said, wait, no, 10 yards from the spot. So it's only 3 yards behind the original line of scrimmage, so it's 1st and 13. But Augusta's still with the ball, and what they're doing, they're using up the clock, but also getting chunk play after chunk play. I mean, their total time of possession in this game is just less than 12 minutes. But they've been incredible in this game. Play action, quick pass across the middle. It is broken up one-on-one, and then Albert just hits it down onto the ground for an incomplete pass. Malm almost got the pick. It was kind of a 50-50 ball between Albert and Malm, and then it finally hit the turf thanks to a spike by Albert at around the 5-yard line.
Yeah, Lane, we talked in the first half about the differences between Ashton Malm and Brecken Albert, and we said that the height advantage goes to Brecken Albert, being that he's almost 4 inches taller than Ashton Malm, and that time it showed in that 50-50 battle, and Albert was able just to knock that football down.
Second down and 13 after the incompletion. 1:37 to go, third quarter. McPherson trailing by 23. Augusta with the ball, play action. Haskell, short pass caught by the tailback. Roberts has a lane, 15, 10, 5. Flag down, touchdown, but it's not going to count. A holding will be called on Brecken Albert, who is incensed at the moment, and trying to collect him is Drew Borm, telling him to calm down, but this will be a holding call, taking back a touchdown.
Oh, Lane, that is a big call for the Bullpups, I will say.
That would have been a 30-yard touchdown.
And instead, it's going to be a 22-yard reception with the hold.
10 yards from the spot, so it's going to be ahead of the previous line of scrimmage. If it's at the 7 is where they put it at, they'll put them at the 17, which is probably going to be first down and 10, actually.
Well, it looks like they're going to put it at the 18. So
second down and 1. Jinx. Either way, 1:29 to go, third quarter. Yep, that hold by Albert does take away what would have been a walk-in touchdown. Second time in this half, a touchdown has been called back for Augusta because of a penalty. But right now, they're up by 23 with 89 seconds to go, third quarter. Extra man in on the blitz, play action. Haskell keeps, cuts to his left, got the first down to the 15, then push ahead down to the 14, and a new set of downs for Augusta.
Lane, they ran that same play again. What they just almost scored on, they ran the exact same play, just this time. Brody Haskell just decided to tuck the football and picked up 4 yards in the first down, and now we're more inside the red zone here.
Yep, 1st and 10 at the 14 for the Augusta Orioles, looking to pull off what would, on paper, look like a massive upset, but this was definitely not quite unheard of, and I say that because we know how good Augusta is on this game, especially on this season. And the Bullpup crosses the line with 9 on the play clock, and an offside call will be called on McPherson. And I know that's going to be another thing that Coach Pav, who's currently has his headset on and is crouching down on the ground, and I know he's not the happiest man in the world right now. I mean, I would say he's probably the exact opposite. But just those small mistakes are something that he's going to have down in his notes before next week when McPherson faces Bueller. So that'll make it 1st down and 5. 40 seconds to go in the third quarter, I should say. In the shotgun, Haskell takes a snap, hands it off to Roberts, who got stuffed at the 10-yard line. It's a loss of about a yard on the play by Carter Melton, who came in as an extra man on the D-line.
Yeah, Melton's getting some real run here at Mike linebacker, in his Mike linebacker position. He's a 6', 175 sophomore. Coming into this week, had 5 tackles on the season, 1 tackle for loss. Last week just had a tackle for loss as well there, and he's been pretty good so far this game.
Third quarter, well, I thought it was going to come to an end, but it stopped for a moment. Well, now they're going to run it again, but the third quarter is going to come to an end. Augusta leads 37-14 with 1 quarter left. Only 3 points in this entire quarter. That was on a field goal to start it off by Augusta, but that's been it. And McPherson, time is not on their side as they trail by 23 with 12 minutes remaining. We'll be back after this for the fourth quarter. You're listening to McPherson High School football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
Have you been injured in an accident? At Pyle Law, Tom takes the time to evaluate your personal injury case and fight for the compensation you deserve. Whether it's medical bills, lost wages, or pain and suffering, Tom Pyle understands the challenges you're facing and works tirelessly to help you get back on your feet. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Call Pyle Law at 620-241-9000 for your free consultation today. Because at Pyle Law, Tom takes the time to fight for you.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Coverage of McPherson High School football brought to you by McPherson College. You bring the dream, we'll build the team. Success is a team effort. Begin building yours at McPherson College. It's a great day to be a Bulldog.
Sco Dogs!
Especially tomorrow. Top 25 matchup in Wichita against Friends. One of the biggest hyped games in the country.
The triple option versus the spread.
It'll be interesting. Augusta has second down at the McPherson 11. Fake handoff. Haskell keeps one-on-one far side. Gets past Chapman. One other man, and he will jump into the end zone. Touchdown, Augusta. Once again, it's Brody Haskell taking it himself. That one to start off the fourth quarter as we have a Bullpup down just near the goal line on the far side. Augusta is going to try to get a PAT to go up by 30, but we're going to wait on this injury timeout first.
Yeah, Lane, I was a little bit confused there as I thought I saw something out of the line judge official, but then as Brecken Albert went to go celebrate, he ran into the official, that same official, and knocked the guy's hat down. So, but an excellent play call, an excellent job of just that quarterback power run or that quarterback zone out to the outside, and Haskell was able to make one guy miss and high-stepped his way into the end zone for the touchdown. And the Orioles are having a great offensive game.
Brody Millison, the one getting up, walking under his own power to the near side. So that injury timeout was brought to you by Pyle Law. If you've been injured at work or in a motor vehicle accident, contact Pyle Law. They'll work to give you the benefits you deserve. Augusta will bring on the PAT unit to try to make it 44-14. Already, these 43 points are the second most they've scored all year. The other was 48 in their loss to Wellington, but they scored 40 against Winfield.
I was going to say, if they hold on to win this game, it's the most they've scored in a win.
Yep. For sure. Good snap, good hold. Haskell's kick is up, and it is good. 44-14 is the score. McPherson trailing with 11:52 to go in the ball game. We're back in 30 seconds. You're listening to McPherson High School football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
No tricks, just treats with MTC Fiber Internet in October. Sign up this spooky season and treat yourself to Fiber Fast Internet. Celebrate 120 years of MTC with 120 days of free fiber internet. Visit mtc4me.com/get fiber now. Call 877-216-9951 or stop by one of our offices in Little River, Lyons, Marquette, McPherson, or Sterling to take advantage of this scary good deal.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
McPherson trailing 44-14, 11:52 to go in the ball game. And we called this what would be a bounce-back game for McPherson. It would have to be tough against this really good Augusta team, but man alive has it been all Augusta so far. Ensuing kickoff, bounces. Brody Hoffman will pick it up at the 2-yard line on the near side. He's at the 10, 15, 20, down the sideline 25 and out of bounds just past the 30-yard line with 11:47 to go in the ball game. McPherson has just their second drive of this second half.
Yeah, that was an excellent run back there by Brody Hoffman. He's added some juice back there with Aaron Winter being out of this game and them having to go to the backup kick returner and Brody Hoffman. That was an excellent return there. He's been pretty good back returning kicks tonight.
For sure he has been, but McPherson's offense back on the field. 2 receivers wide on each side in the shotgun. Dane Becker, the tailback. Carter Bankton will take the snap, chest high, fires quickly near side. Nice catch by Malm near side, 40, 45, and then tripped up from behind, going out of bounds by Apple at about the 49 or midfield, I should say. Haskell was there defensively, tried to dive out to at least get a fingertip on the ball, but Malm able to contort his body to the left to make the grab and push it down the field for 18 yards.
Yeah, an excellent pickup there by Ashton Malm, and now I've got him with 9 catches, 184 yards tonight. So he's done his part here tonight and gotten over that average receiving yards a game.
Trips to the left, option play, pitch out, Becker, far edge, gets met up at midfield, and then goes over the defender for just about a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9 coming up. Hit hard and brought down by Mason Pringle.
Yeah, just ran that speed option to the outside. An excellent job by Mason Pringle to just hold, contain, and understand what his job duty was on that play and tackle Dane Becker after a 1-yard pickup.
11 minutes and 10 seconds to go. McPherson down 44-14 over Augusta here at home for homecoming. 2nd and 9, handoff to Becker. Bullies his way up the middle, then gets met up, and a late flag will come in as he was hit at the 45, spun down at the 44, but we'll check the marker thrown by the far side official right around when he was tackled, and the flag is at the 44, so we'll see what this is.
Sideline warning, Augusta, their second of the game. That's a 5-yard penalty added to the end of the run.
Okay, second sideline warning called on Augusta in this game. The other was in the first quarter. It was very early. And that was on, I think it was their first touchdown of the game. But because it's their second one, it's a 5-yard penalty, so add that on and move the chains for McPherson because of it.
Yeah, for those that don't understand what a sideline warning is, there's a little 3-foot area around the field that's the thick white line out of bounds. You're not allowed as the sideline to stand in there. That's the official's area.
Play action, Bankson looks to throw, pocket collapses, gets out of it, runs, 35, left side 30, 25, gets a block, 20, 15, 10, 5, dives for the pylon. Did he get it? No, he did not. He stepped out of bounds just at the one official's at the 10. There's a flag, actually, so this is moot at this point.
Yeah, it was an excellent job stepping up into the pocket, scrambling with the football, man-to-man coverage on the back end, so none of the Orioles ever got their heads around or their eyes around to pick up. Bankston was running. However, there will be, it looks like, holding on the offense.
Incorrect. Unnecessary roughness called on Augusta. I was wondering if this was on Augusta because the officials on the far side were pointing saying, hey, where do you have him down? They have him down at the 2, half the distance, just 3 feet closer to the 1-yard line. So that's what the penalty was. So McPherson has first and goal at the 1 and a chance to score for the first time since the first quarter.
Lane, stand corrected.
So now they'll work in the shotgun, but an extra tight end on the right side, that being Jaron Stutzman, 2 tailbacks. They're going to hand it off. Becker lowers the head, crosses the goal line, touchdown McPherson. They get back onto the board. They do trail 44-20 with 10:28 to go in the ball game as they'll bring the PAT unit back out onto the field. But these Bullpups never say die, and they have a chance to cut this closer. I mean, heck, crazier things have happened in high school football.
Absolutely, and that was just a good all-around drive. They got good rushes, they've got good pickups through the air, and they were able to get one massive play with the Carter Bankston 37-yard scramble and just put it into the end zone for points. That was a really good drive.
Jackson Hoover in for the PAT. Bankston the holder, a bit of a wide snap, but he got it down, and the kick is good. 44-21. Augusta leads McPherson, 10:28 to go. We're back in 30 seconds. You're listening to McPherson High School football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
On the basketball court, a good offense is the best defense. You can count on Farm Bureau agent Teresa Boken to be your family's point guard and defend you against whatever life throws your way. She's there to handle your auto, home, life, and business insurance needs. Don't wait for the worst to happen when it comes to your insurance. Talk to Farm Bureau agent Teresa Boken in Sterling today and see how she can protect what matters most.
Contact me, Teresa Boken in Sterling at 620-278-2572.
Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agriculture Insurance Company.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
10:28 to go in the ball game. McPherson able to drive down and score in just about a minute and a half to cut the deficit back down to 23. Nathan, we kind of talked about this a little bit off air. Do you go onside here if you're McPherson?
With 10 and a half minutes to go, I think you boot this one away. However, I would not be shocked if you go onside here and just kind of allow this offense to get back on the field. It does appear that Augusta believes that this is going to be a kickoff as well.
Yeah, they don't really have their hands formation, 5 up front and then, lined up normally. Normally the hands, they have like 10 near the line, but it is a normal side over side. It's not a normal kickoff, but it will go out of bounds at the 5-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 10 Augusta at the 35 either way.
Yeah, that time just got it off the side of the foot and just was unable to keep it in bounds. But the Orioles coming out on offense here on the 35-yard line. This will be a big drive for the Bullpups. By kicking it away, you trust your defense to come out, get a stop, get the football back pretty quick, and allow this offense to drive back down. You're going to need 3 more scores and a couple extra 2-point conversions as well.
They've scored on their first 2 drives of the second half. In fact, out of all the drives they've had on offense, they only did not score once. This is their 9th drive of this game. So far in the second half, it was a field goal to start it off, then a touchdown run. On first down, they're going to hand it off. Roberts on the right side gets met up down low and up high, maybe a gain of 1 at most. Dylan Hall and Jaron Stutzman were there to bring him down for just a gain of 1 yard on the run by Owen Roberts.
Yeah, it looks like the Bullpups are going to be bringing pressure. It looks like more of a run blitz than anything else, than more of a pass blitz. And what they're going to try to do here is really sell out to stop the run, and that time only a 1-yard pickup is exactly what you want.
10 minutes to go and ticking in this ball game. McPherson trailing by 23. 44-21 is the score. Augusta gets ready on offense in the shotgun. 1 receiver wide on each side. 2 backs in the backfield, 1 on each side, which is what we've seen all game long for the most part, and then it's a tight end either lining up on the left or right. This time on the left. Handoff again. This time up the middle. It's Harris. Cuts right, first down and more across midfield. Hit hard down low by Ashton Malm. Brought down at the 48-yard line in McPherson territory, but that is a gain of 16 yards to move the chains for Augusta.
Yeah, that can't be the problem when you do put a bunch of people around the line of scrimmage and go hat on hat to try to stop the run, is that once you get past that first level, there's very little people there until the safeties and the corners to stop anything on the ground, and that time big pickup of 16.
First down and 10 at the McPherson 48 for Augusta. Both teams do have all 3 timeouts with 9:10 to go in the ball game. McPherson trailing 44-21 to Augusta. The latter of which with the ball. Haskell takes the high snap and hands it off. Roberts got met up, grabbed by the face mask, but no call. Nope, here comes the flag. And down to the 47 he'll go. But this likely, I think this will be a face mask on McPherson. I thought he got hit by the face mask.
Yeah, I think I saw that as well. He picked up 1 yard, and it was a tough run. Had Bullpups all the way around him, but we'll see what they call here, either personal foul or inadvertent.
Personal foul, so it's a 15-yard face mask. So we've seen a 5-yard and a 15-yard face mask in this one, but from my looks, that one was one where he grabbed the face mask, so that's a 15-yarder.
I would also agree, and that's a big penalty there against the Bullpups and for the Orioles. Now you're getting down and tied the 32, 31-yard line, and the Orioles are in good spot to put more points on the board.
And that penalty moves them up to the 31-yard line in McPherson territory. So the same formation as we've seen for most of this game. The tight end now on the right side. Clock is running, 10 on the play clock, 8:40 to go in the ball game. Haskell takes a snap, hands it off. It is Roberts up the middle who broke through the line. Then inside the 25 to about the 24, 23-yard line is where they'll call it. So a gain of about 8 yards on first down.
Excellent run there by Owen Roberts. Strong runner, broke through some tackles at the line of scrimmage and was still able to pick up 8 yards. Good run, good strong run for him.
This offense has been wheeling and dealing, and they're up to over, I think they're about the half millennium mark at this point. I think they're over 500 yards. Something or other. Back in the shotgun, I should say, for Augusta. Second down and about 2 yards coming up at the 23-yard line. Extra man comes in on the blitz, but they're going to hand it off to the tailback who got the first down. Broke off of the line after getting off one would-be tackler and getting pushed inside the 20 to get into the red zone. That will be enough for a first down at the 18-yard line in McPherson territory.
Yeah, another pickup of about 5 yards. 57 now for Owen Roberts on the game. So not a ton of yards coming out of Owen Roberts, but their leading rusher so far has been Brody Haskell. He got 94 yards. While the Bullpups' leading rusher is Dane Becker with 60 yards on the ground. Coming into this half unofficially 341 lane, you're probably getting close to that 500 mark, like you said.
Quick scoreboard update brought to you by McPherson Dental Care. Bueller defeats Winfield 41-21, so they now clinch at least a share of the league title. They'll enter next week 5-2 on the year. Option play, pitch out, and brought down from behind. A run to Owen Roberts, and then Nolan Piercy brought him down for no gain on that play. Maybe a loss of a couple, actually.
Yeah, it looks like about a loss of 2 there, and another tackle for loss by Nolan Piercy. He's been really good for this linebacking core all season long and brought it into tonight as well.
So Augusta is going to face second down and 12 back at the 20. 6:45 to go and ticking. As all things considered, it looks like Augusta is going to get finally a big win under their belt, and multiple times where they've had opportunities to. Looks like they're going to close it off today. They have second down and 12 as they lead 44-21. A player across the line, but no flag thrown. Everybody has their arms out because Augusta was waiting on the flag to be thrown, so no play made, and they're going to call timeout. Their first of the half with 6:20 remaining.
Oh, I thought that was
me too.
Close. Because it was number 71 Carter Leathers there, and he just kind of stayed put right where he was at. Must have had enough space.
I guess so, because the rule is in high school, it doesn't matter if you get back or not. If you cross the line, you cross the line, literal line, it's a penalty. So, it's oftentimes, college, professional, as the scoreboard just turned off. Nope, now it's back on and back to normal, but still. Yeah, those you can push forward and then go back, as long as you're there by the time that anybody reacts, or if you're, as long as you're not unimpeded. You can go back and not get a flag call on you. At high school, it's different. You cross the line, penalty either way. So first call timeout by Augusta. While we have this pause in the action, we'd like to thank Next Tech Wireless. You can stream every game live with the Ad Astra Radio app powered by Next Tech Wireless. Find the latest phones and devices at the best prices. We're also brought to you by Hutchinson Community College, Alliance Agency, APAC Shears, Raleigh Insurance, McPherson Dental Care, Pile Law, The Finish, and Tallgrass Turf Solutions. Back on the field we go. 6:20 to go in the ball game. Augusta with the ball. 2nd down and 12 at the McPherson 20. Up 44-21 over the Bullpups. They'll hand it off to Roberts, trying to go up the gut, then met up by Carter Busker, who then does kind of a suplex move to bring him back and down to the line of scrimmage for no gain. 3rd down and 12 coming up for Augusta.
Again, Carter Busker coming up from a safety position. We've seen that from Colt Chapman a few times as well, but Busker filling a hole and was able to make a good, strong tackle. Like you said, that suplex position there, and was able to bring him down effectively.
So 3rd down and 12 coming up here for the Augusta Orioles. 5:45 and ticking to go in this ball game. They're at the McPherson 20-yard line. Same formation with the receiver wide on each side, now between the hashes. One tailback on each end of the quarterback in the shotgun. Fake handoff. Haskell keeps near side. He's at the 15, cuts left at the 10. 5, touchdown Augusta. Brody Haskell from 20 yards out, and another touchdown on the board for the 6'1 senior, who's had one heck of a day here today for the Orioles. And Augusta's put up their most points in a game this year, 50-21. They lead over McPherson, 5:29 to go.
That's just as simple as read option play where he can either take it himself or give it up to the running back. And that time he read that the defensive end came down the line of scrimmage to stop the running back. He took it all the way in for a 20-yard touchdown run.
He's going to try to make it 51-21 and put Augusta up by 30 with 5:29 remaining. And when we have a timeout coming up, I'm going to have to add together all the points he has. But the kick is blocked by Keaton Crane, so he limits it to it just staying at 50. But Augusta still leads 50-21, 5:29 to go. McPherson gets the ball back after this. You're listening to McPherson High School football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
At Mid-Kansas Credit Union, we live by our motto, grounded in the past, growing for the future. We are a full-service credit union with offices in Mound Ridge and Buhler. Mid-Kansas Credit Union would like to wish all the athletes the best of luck as they compete this season.
Are you tired of your dusty or muddy driveway? APAC Kansas Shears Division is here to help. This is Derek Fees. Call us and ask us about our asphalt millings. If you are a do-it-yourselfer, arrange for pickup or delivery at your convenience. Call APAC today at 620-662-2112.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Augusta extends their lead. They're up 50-21 over McPherson with 5:29 to go in this ball game. Brody Haskell has had one heck of a day. 3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns, and a field goal. Plus, if I can do the math in my head, I think 5 made PATs. Ensuing kickoff by Haskell, hits the turf, returned by Hoffman at the 10, 20, 25, 30, near side, lowers the head, and then hit by Apple, brought down across the 35 to about the 37-yard line.
Lane, you want me to make Brody Haskell's day just a little bit better for you?
Sure thing.
114 yards on the ground with 2 rushing touchdowns. He's also thrown for 3 more, has 292 through the air.
Jeez Louise.
I did the math while we were at break. We talked about the half-century mark that the Orioles offense is at. Unofficially, I've got him at 494.
Jeez Louise. I mean, we'll have to get it officially sometime soon, but McPherson's offense back onto the field. Bankton will line up in the shotgun as McPherson has it at their own 39-yard line. Play action, now fake pass. Now Bankton rolls to the left, got hit once and twice, and down he goes in the backfield. It will be a sack on the play for Augusta. I think a couple of guys back there. Jackson Ingram was one of them, and the other being Griffin Tatum. I think half sacks will go down for each of them, so a full sack, and McPherson loses 5 yards on that play.
Yeah, that play takes a little bit of time to really get going. That was just almost a slant and go by for Ashton Malm, where you fake the throw to Ashton Malm and then you let him kind of get all the way down, almost into a post pattern. But you got to get out of the pocket. It takes quite a while, and the Orioles were all over it.
Hand off to Millicent on 2nd down and long. Left side, got the edge, got those yards back, plus a few more. Hit at the 44-yard line, and down he goes for a gain of about 10 yards to bring up 3rd down and 5 for McPherson, trailing 50-21 with 4.5 minutes left.
Yeah, when you lose yardages on 1st down and you're behind the chains, a big pickup of 7, 8, 9, 10 like it was on that play is huge, setting up that 3rd down and medium.
3rd down and 5 coming up for McPherson. 4:10 to go in the ball game. The starting offense still on the field. 2-by-2 they line up, tailback in the backfield in the shotgun. They're on the left hash, receiver in motion. That's Chapman. It's a jet pass to Chapman. Near side, stops, flag down. He's down in the backfield anyway. This might be a hold on Millicent, but they will probably decline this to make it 4th down.
That's what it looks like they're going to do. It looks like head coach Dawson Elliott's going to decline this penalty, go to 4th down after the loss of about 2 or 3 yards on that.
Dawson Elliott, who's only going to get his 3rd win as the head coach of the Augusta Orioles, but this will be the biggest one of them all so far. And the 2nd win of the season for Augusta. 2nd-year head coach. This is his 1st head coaching gig, by the way. Native of Goddard, former player at Butler Community College and at K-State. So they decline the penalty, 4th down and 7. McPherson in the shotgun. Bankton will look to throw. It's a screen pass. Millicent up the middle. Got a couple of blockers. 1st down and more. 50, 45, 40, 35, and wrestled down inside the 30 to about the 26-yard line. Just a simple screen pass to Brody Millicent. Picks up the 1st down and more into Augusta territory with 3.5 minutes left. McPherson trailing 50-21, but possibly trying to cut into the deficit before calling it a night.
Big pickup there of about 35, 37 yards for Brody Millicent just on that screen play. When everybody clears out and it's man-to-man coverage, no one is paying attention to the backfield and to Brody Millicent and got blockers out in front. It was an excellent pickup.
1st down and 10 at the Augusta 25-yard line for McPherson. Mulvane in motion. Bankton looks to throw. Fires across the middle. It's caught by Piercy across the 20. Tries to tuck the ball at the 15. Down the corner at the 10. 5 looking for the pylon, but he's out of bounds just short. Inside the 5, though, as they will mark him out of bounds at the 2-yard line. With 2:56 remaining, and the clock will stop after going out of bounds. 1st down and goal.
An excellent pitch and catch there to Nolan Piercy. I mean, Piercy's having a really nice day out of that backup tight end position. He came into the day with 2 receptions on the season, 15 yards. Now has 3 receptions just here tonight with 42 total.
2 backs in the backfield. They'll hand it off. Millicent lowers the head at the goal line. Driving. Got it. Touchdown, McPherson. It's Brody Millicent who crosses the goal line. 50-27 Augusta, 2:50 remaining. Millicent with his first touchdown of the game.
Another really nice drive by this Bullpups offense. That it just appears that they're trying to play a good, clean, back to their fundamental football, and they're making chunk plays. They're getting good catches out of guys, out of a Nolan Piercy and Ashton Malm and Brody Millicent, plus they're running the football effectively. Just a really nice drive.
Jackson Hoover in for the PAT movement, and a flag will come in. There's no play. We'll see who the movement was on, though. Will it be on McPherson or on Augusta?
Early indications, it looks like the side official says offside on the Orioles.
Yep. Encroachment, he said 5-yard penalty. Nope, it's half the distance. But they're going to keep the PAT unit on the field, and instead of a 20-yard extra point, nope, here comes the offense. Offense is coming on the field. They're going to go for 2 here.
I like this choice here. Really trust your offense here. Go for 2. Put yourself in a nice position and get into that two-point conversion playbook.
So the offense back on the field, trying to make it 50-29 with 2:50 remaining, make it a 21-point game. McPherson will line up in the shotgun, 2 receivers on each side. Colt Chapman is the tailback, though. Malm is in motion. Nope, it is Becker, the tailback, but they'll roll to the right. It is caught by Malm into the end zone for 2 points. 50-29 Augusta with 2:50 remaining. We'll see what McPherson does coming up next. Will they kick it deep, or will they go with an onside kick? Find out next. You're listening to McPherson High School football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
Start your home remodel at The Finish Flooring Interiors. From stunning Mohawk flooring to Kansas-made onyx or custom cabinetry, we've got the style and quality you need and the professionals to put it together. Find us at Euclid and Main in McPherson, because every great home starts with The Finish. McPherson Center for Health is one of only 8 in Kansas and the only one within 60 miles to earn a 5-star rating from CMS, the highest for quality and patient care. That's nationally recognized 5-star care right at home.
98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
McPherson cuts it to 50-29, still trailing Augusta with 2:50 remaining, but Nathan, you and I were talking over the break. I mean, McPherson's offense, they're still a good offense. I mean, heck, they have over 400 total yards of offense on this game. Obviously, the downside, Augusta's got around, if not over 500, but still, and that's why Augusta's up 50-29. So McPherson's kicking unit back on the field, and we'll see what they do here, now down by 21. But it was a 2-yard touchdown run by Brody Mills and a 2-point conversion on a pass to Ashton Malm. It will be a deep kick, but actually more of a pooch deep kick, and fair catch will be signaled by Brody Haskell at around the 13-yard line, and that's where they're going to set up shop for their next possession. 2:49 to go, but Augusta up by 21 points.
And Lane, just to kind of go deep dive a little bit more into that topic that you mentioned before the kickoff. I mean, take out really kind of the second and the third quarter here for the Bullpups. This offense has played really well. I mean, they still have 29 points. They've got a ton of yards, like you said, and they've been to multiple different players. They've got, I believe, 6 different players that have caught a pass. They've got 4 different players that have rushed the football, so they've been pretty multiple today.
On first down, they're going to hand it off. The backup quarterback is in as they hand it off on the near side. We got the second stringers into the ball game as the handoff went to Cannon Terry. Backup quarterback is Mason Scove, a 5'9 sophomore. So he's in for Brody Haskell, who's had one heck of a game, and we'll give you his final stats when the game's done. But dude's been electric, and I mean, he's not the only reason, but he's one of the bigger reasons why Augusta's going to come out with a big victory here in McPherson.
Oh, yeah. Brody Haskell is we talked about him early as one of the players to watch or key players to watch. And this offense runs specifically through him. And if he goes, the entire offense goes, and everybody kind of eats when he's right.
2 minutes to go. They're going to hand it off on the far side to Terry again, trying to find the right edge, but cuts back up and gets a short yardage of about 4 yards. It was 2nd down and 4, so actually give him 3, 3rd down and 1 coming up. But 1:50 to go. Augusta's going to use up this clock. McPherson has 3 timeouts, but they're not really going to use them. 3rd down and 1 coming up, and McPherson, this is going to be a tough loss for them, but I know they're going to be, some takeaways, a few positive ones, but I know defensively, I mean, that was a big question mark in this game, especially with how thin the linebacker core is. But this was a really good Augusta team, and I think just given how they played today, they finally knew how it felt to finish off a game. I mean, they had a strong start to do so. I'll talk a little bit more about this point after this next snap. 5 on the play clock, 1:10 to go. They're going to hand it off on 3rd down. It will be a 1st down, as getting tripped up and finally down was Jaden Harris. And that will stop the clock momentarily. Then it will continue after the ball is spotted, and it will run with 1 minute left. So maybe one more snap or 1 or 2 more snaps and this game is over. But the point I was trying to make, Augusta finally, after the last 3 weeks, know how it feels to finally close out a game. They're going to use this momentum moving forward. Next week, they have Circle, and I think given how they played today, they could win that game. And then they'd likely be on the road for the first round of playoffs, because if they win next week, they'd be 3-5. But they definitely have an opportunity to surprise some people. They're going to give it to the quarterback. He's going to take a knee, and the clock's going to run out. McPherson played good. Augusta, incredible. Final score, Augusta is going to pull off an upset, get their 2nd win over McPherson ever in the series history, and Augusta's going to ride off with a big league victory, 50-29 here on homecoming in McPherson. Bullpup Locker Room Show coming up right after this. You're listening to McPherson High School football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Coverage of Bullpup football continues next with the Bullpup Locker Room Show. On the way, we'll recap tonight's game, and we'll hear the post-game thoughts of head coach Jace Pavlovich. 98.9 and 1540 KMCP. The McPherson Bullpups play here.
Hi, Josh French, owner of Tallgrass Turf Solutions in McPherson. Now's the time to rebuild your lawn after the summer heat damage. From aerations to overseeds, we can set up your lawn for success next year. For all of your turf management and lawn care needs, contact Tallgrass Turf Solutions in McPherson. Online at tallgrassturfsolutions.com. Tallgrass Turf Solutions in McPherson, we build gorgeous, self-sustaining lawns.
If you can't remember the last time you've reviewed your insurance, you're not alone. Alliance Agency Inc. and Buckeye Insurance Group work together to make sure you are properly covered. Call the friendly, knowledgeable staff at Alliance Agency Inc. at 620-241-0213. They'll provide service that exceeds expectations and coverage that meets your needs. Buckeye Insurance Group and Alliance Agency Inc. working together to protect you.
Hi, I'm Andrew Ealing. I'm excited to tell you about the Poo Squad of Hutchinson. Are you tired of the unpleasant task of picking up dog poop? I can help. We offer a one-time or weekly service for your convenience. Our pricing is affordable and varies based on the number of dogs. For one dog per week, it's only $12 or $52 a month. You can easily book online at hutch.thepoosquad.com or call or text at 620-322-0522. We take a lot of crap from our customers. Contact the Poo Squad of Hutchinson today.
Hi, this is Lucas Raleigh with Raleigh Insurance. With a family myself, I know how important managing expenses are. If you are thinking about shopping your family's insurance, let us do the shopping for you with our newly expanded markets and carriers. As an independent agency, we've been saving families across Kansas for the past 50 years. Check out RaleighInsurance.biz, see me in Little River, or stop by Raleigh Insurance in Inman or Lyons today.
Since 1965, your choice for home, auto, farm, and commercial insurance. Raleigh Insurance.
Bullpup football on KMCP.
Back-to-back tough losses for McPherson High School, both of which by multiple possessions. Last week losing 34-3 to Mulvane. This time around, long conversation by head coach Jace Pavlovich to his team. They fall 50-29 over Augusta here today. We welcome you to the Bullpup Locker Room Show, and I'm looking forward and not looking forward to hearing from Coach Pav afterwards. I say not looking forward only because I have no idea what to ask him. I don't, because this was tough, obviously, from McPherson's point of view, and Augusta got a very, very big win under their belt as Augusta moves up to 2-5 on the year, and McPherson falls to 4-3 on the season. Both teams are now 2-2 in league play. Nathan, what final numbers do you have?
Yeah, let's first start off on the McPherson side. For unofficially, I had 420 total yards of offense. 122 came on the ground. Leading rusher was Dane Becker with 60 yards rushing. Other notables was Brody Millison with 21 yards and Carter Bankston with 38 yards on the ground. And through the air, Carter Bankston threw for 298 total yards passing through the air, with Ashton Mulham catching 184 of those yards with 2 touchdowns. Bo Barkley, 27 yards. Nolan Piercy, 42 yards. And a couple other players hauling in some receptions as well, with Brody Millison having a 37-yard reception. But looking kind of at the Augusta side, on the rushing side of things, 213 yards did Augusta have. They were led on the ground by their quarterback, Brody Haskell, as well as Owen Roberts with 55 yards on the ground. On the receiving side of things, 292 yards through the air, with Brecken Albert with 99 yards. Didn't have a reception in the second half, along with Cade Kamak with 54 yards receiving as well, plus Roman Bridwell with 61-yard reception.
Wow.
That equals 505 total yards unofficially.
That's 1,515 feet. 1515. It's about a fifth of a mile, something like that. A little bit more than that. 5,280 in a mile. 15 feet.
Hold on here a second.
We're not going to waste that has been your math of the week. But before we go to break and then talk with head coach Jace Pavlovich, who's still on the field right now, talking to his family as we speak, and then we'll see if he comes up here after this loss as they fell 50-29. But you want to hear some history?
Let's hear some history.
Down goes Axtell. For the first time in 59 games, down goes Axtell. They lose to Hanover. Final score of 26-18. The win streak for Axtell ends at 58. How incredible is that?
Well, I can tell you, certain things have froze over. Pigs have flown. I don't know what to say.
We've often said, sometimes we listen to the high school football scoreboard show, especially if we are on road trips and we go back. Every time we hear the Axtell score, what do we say? Death, taxes, Axtell winning a football game. Not today. Not today. Interesting enough. So, yeah, but a weird day. And a very, very weird day. So we'll continue the Bullpup locker room show coming up next. Again, final score: McPherson falls by a final score of 50-29 over Augusta here on homecoming. We'll see if we hear from head coach Jace Pavlovich coming up after this. You're listening to coverage of McPherson High School football on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
More of the Bullpup Locker Room Show is next. Stay tuned as we name tonight's play and player of the game. Find exclusive stories highlighting Bullpup athletics at adastraradio.com. 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Locally owned and rooted in agriculture, Terra Financial Crop Insurance knows farming. With hands-on experience, they're invested in protecting your fields and future. Call Ryan Buznitz in Mound Ridge and McPherson today. Terra Financial, growing security, one field at a time.
For more than 90 years, Hutchinson Community College has been the premier two-year educational institution in Kansas, offering the highest quality education at an exceptional value. Schedule a personal campus tour today. Visit hutchcc.edu/campus tour.
The new Ranke E3 uses high-strength steel because it's tried and true. Why mess with perfection? The industry's highest strength-to-weight ratio is used in all Ranke systems. At Ranke, you can take your pick from a range of materials to fend off corrosion and cater to your specific needs. Contact your local Ranke dealer, Bullseye Irrigation of Inman, today. Ranke uses common sense just like you do. Discover common sense. Discover the new E3. Bullseye Irrigation of Inman is your Ranke dealer. Ranke, more right than rain.
This is Darren Eddy with Ag 360 Insurance in Inman. For years, we've been known for our great service with our ag customers. But did you know we can handle your family or small business insurance needs as well? We would love an opportunity to sit down and visit with you about what we can do for you. As an independent agency, we can shop different coverage options for you. Stop by our office on Old K61 in Inman or give Cody Moores or myself a call today at 620-585-2128 or check us out online at ag360insurance.com.
Do you have plans this weekend? How about spending a little time working on some of those touch-up jobs around the house? With Do It Best quality paints, you can expect the highest quality and beauty. Do It Best quality paints is easy to apply and clean up, and you'll love the results. Stop by Gearing Hardware in Mound Ridge. One of our friendly staff members will help you choose the right Do It Best quality paints, color, and supplies you need to get those touch-up jobs accomplished.
Bullpup football on KMCP.
Welcome back to the Bullpup Locker Room Show. McPherson falls by a final score of 50-29 against Augusta to lose their second game in a row. We're now joined on the headset by head coach Jace Pavlovich. We talked over the break. I mean, this is probably going to be, I like talking to you in the post game, but today's going to be a little bit different, obviously, just because I know, the both of us are probably feeling the same thing right now. You probably a little bit more because you're the head coach, but just overall thoughts.
Yeah, I really, I'm kind of at a loss for words right now myself. Had a good week of practice. We tried to simplify a lot defensively so that we could play fast and fit gaps, and we weren't quite able to get that done tonight. Offensively, we did do some good things, but at the end of the day, it's two in a row here that it's obvious we weren't ready to play, and I got to figure out a way to, I got to find what buttons to push and what to do to get these guys ready to play, because it's a good football team. We got good football players, but so there's some lack of discipline that we need to address, and not it's just lack of discipline in key reads is what I mean by that, and that they're trying to do too much. And, when things hit the fan, like right away we give up that big touchdown, guys start to do each other's jobs. And, we got to find a way to restore that trust within each other and continue to play for each other. But, at halftime, the message was very clear in that we just got to keep pounding away. It's that last final blow that finally breaks the stone, and we got to keep pounding at it and chip away in the third quarter, and I really did feel like our guys fought, but we're trying to do other people's jobs out there, and so we talked to them after the game, and like, guys, no matter how good things are, no matter how bad things are, the process is the process. And the process is we get back to work tomorrow. And, our guys were pretty receptive to it. But we got a big rivalry game coming up next Friday night. So we got to be ready to play. And, again, that's my job to figure out what we need to do to get that done.
Yeah, you mentioned, you talked to the guys after the game. It looked like a pretty lengthy conversation. What were just some overall talking points that you mentioned?
Well, in situations like this, there's going to be naysayers. There's going to be finger pointing. There's going to be all sorts of stuff going on. And I told them, I'm the head football coach, and it's my job to get you guys ready to play. And it's apparent that I haven't been able to get that done. So, we stay together. No finger pointing. We accept the coaching that we get tomorrow morning, and we get back to work. And, no man's defeated until he quits. So we got a lot of guys with a lot of fight in them, and we're going to do just that. We're going to continue to fight. We're going to continue to grind, and we're going to rebuild that trust between each other on our assignments.
One guy that was kind of a positive that both me and Nathan mentioned throughout the broadcast was Bo Barkley. I mean, he kind of struggled with injury all week. He did a good job receiving. He was a great edge rusher in this game too. So just, he seemed, even if he was going through some pain, we couldn't notice.
Yeah, I mean, it was, Thursday at practice, he bent down to get in his stance and his back locked up. And so, we weren't sure we were going to get him tonight. But, Bo's a man of character, and it shows on the field. And we got a lot of guys like that. And like I said, we got to find a way to build and to have some success with our good kids.
Yeah, and you mentioned it earlier, back to work tomorrow, film in the morning, and then practice next week. Mm-hmm. You got 1 week left in the regular season. So just, what are some overall thoughts with that, especially with how the last 2 weeks have gone, how you want to approach things this upcoming week?
Well, tonight was a big one, to get to that 5-win mark, be able to host that first round of playoffs. We just dug ourselves a little bit of a hole, but it's not anything we can't fight out of. And we got to make some decisions defensively in terms of scheme. Do we want to continue to simplify or do we want to try something else? And, Coach Harlan always does a great job. We sit down over the weekend and spend a lot of time at this. And so we'll come up with something that the guys can execute, and we'll go from there.
Sounds good. Coach, thanks for coming up to talk to us, and we'll see you once again next Friday.
All right. Thank you.
Head coach Chase Pavlovich on the headset as McPherson fell by a final score 50-29. They fall to 4-3 on the season. They're now 2-2 in league play. So, it was a tough loss, as Coach Pav mentioned, but the same last week. McPherson fell to Mulvane last week 34-3. I mean, the offense definitely more on the up and up in this one, but going up against a really good Augusta offense, as we saw today with over 500 yards of offense, as you mentioned, Nathan, kind of the difference maker. And then also, a couple of other things that Coach Pav mentioned that he wants to get fixed by this time next week. And it's not really, just the product of what's on the field. It's more so of, I guess, a thing about, coming together as a team, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, I think it comes simply down to trust. I mean, when you look around and with injuries and everything that's happened with injuries and how many guys are out on this defensive side of the football for the Bullpups, I mean, if you're looking across the way and you don't see a guy that you trust, you're going to go out of your way and do more than what you necessarily have to do, and that is the number one killer of anything you're trying to do as a defense or as a team, is when there is a lack of trust.
For sure, and I know you yourself as a coach, Nathan, and I know you're part of the coaching staff on the Mac College baseball team. I'm not saying that it's something that you've experienced or anything in your coaching career, but I mean, sometimes you're going to see stuff like that where if something goes wrong, then something a little interior is probably going to happen, and you got to step in and say, hey, we got to come together.
Yeah, it happens all the time, especially in the sport that I do coach in baseball. When something
especially, yeah.
When something goes wrong, guys tend to try to do too much, and that's when they get into trouble. Is when you're trying to do too much, and you just have to understand who you are as a person, who you are as a team, and just do what you can. Fill your role, do what's asked of you, and once you've filled that role, if there is more to be asked of you, then do it, but within reason. You want to have we call it, at least on our staff, a controlled aggression. Is we're aggressive in what we try to do. However, we aren't going to be overly aggressive. We don't need to be overly aggressive and come out of ourselves, but just that little simple thing of controlled aggression is exactly what the Bullpups are searching for right now. And this is a young football team. We do have to remember that. This is
correct.
They are still learning on the fly. They're a bunch of juniors right now, a bunch of sophomores in there, and they're learning how to play football. They're learning how to win as a team, and a lot of these guys are being asked to do roles that they haven't done before, and fill leadership positions that they haven't had to do before. And if you're still trying to learn how to be a leader and don't necessarily trust your ability to be a leader, how are you going to lead this football team, and how are you going to be able to fulfill your role when you don't feel like you're fulfilling your role already?
Fair point. Again, McPherson Falls final score 50-29 over Augusta, just the second ever win by Augusta over McPherson. Both of those have come in this very stadium, but the last one was a decade ago, back in 2015. We'll step aside. When we return, we'll give you the Hub Brick Oven play of the game and the People's Bank and Trust player of the game, and give you our final thoughts here from McPherson. Again, final score, Augusta 50, McPherson 29. You're listening to Bullpup Football from the Midway Motors broadcast booth on KMCP.
Tonight's coverage of Bullpup football continues next. KMCP is McPherson's news, sports, and classic hits. Lane Gillespie brings you Bullpup football Friday nights on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
Controlling your own weather can be easier than controlling anything else these days. This is Julie with RC Heating and Cooling. With a well-working cooling and heating system, you can be in control of your indoor weather at home. With so many things out of our hands, it's a good feeling to have a bit of stability. Call RC for a free estimate on new cooling and heating equipment. Call RC when your unit isn't up to par. Call RC to stay comfortable in any weather. Call RC 241-2787.
Whether you want a small home remodel or need repairs done or have a brand new build project in mind, Erickson Custom Building is your choice. All of us at Erickson Custom Building would like to thank our customers for 20 years of business and friendship. Brian and the crew at Erickson have spent those years developing excellent customer service and quality leadership for all types of projects, big or small, traditional or trendy. When your project is finished, it will reflect your vision for quality and follow-through that exceeds your expectations, not your budget. Call Erickson Custom Building or find us on the web at ericksoncustomBLDG.com.
At Great Plains Federal Credit Union, we believe in banking that puts people first. Whether you're saving for the future or in need of a loan today, we're here to help you with friendly service and personalized support. Visit us in McPherson, Salina, Abilene, or Hillsborough and see why more Kansans are choosing Great Plains Federal Credit Union, where you're more than just an account number. Great Plains Federal Credit Union in McPherson, member NCUA.
Now's the time to inspect your fleet and save big with Prairieland Partners Power Inspections. Bundle your equipment to receive 50% off any inspection after your first 2 large ag inspections. Plus, receive a special gift with your 4th Inspect the Fleet piece of equipment. Get peace of mind today by letting their John Deere certified technicians inspect your equipment. Offers end 12/31/2025. Restrictions apply. Call, stop by, or visit prairielandpartners.com to schedule today.
Prairieland Partners. Bullpup football on KMCP.
Welcome back for the final time here in McPherson. as the Bullpups fall by a final score of 50-29 over Augusta as they fall to 4-3 on the season. Time to give you now the Hub Brick Oven play of the game. Nathan, what do you got?
Yeah, I think it's that first let's call it the second touchdown reception by Astra Mom, 82 yards to the house. He made a really nice play on the football, broke a tackle, and took it 82 yards to the house. That happened in the first quarter, and it kind of showed what the Bullpups were trying to do. Then they got stymied for a while, but kind of led the offense, and Ashton's play and Ashton's touchdown is always going to be key.
Absolutely. That's the Hub Brick Oven play of the game, featuring the world-famous Brick Oven Pizza. Get your grub at the Hub, located at 100 South Christian in Mound Ridge. And we also got to give the player of the game, brought to you by People's Bank and Trust. Normally we go in for McPherson. I know we got to give a tip of the hat to Brody Haskell.
Yeah, Brody Haskell was incredible. 114 yards on the ground, 292 through the air. I mean, and threw for 3 touchdowns, ran for 2 more. He was incredible. Didn't turn over the football. But if we're going to give one player of the game to the Bullpups, I would again say I think it's Ashton Malm and the way he played tonight, stepping up kind of in the cornerback role as well, making a few hits, a few tackles, but also having 184 yards through the air receiving with 2 touchdowns. So.
Absolutely. So that is the People's Bank and Trust player of the game. Community banking at its best with 21 locations in Kansas. This is People's Country. Before we give our final thoughts, I'd like to thank our partners, McPherson Center for Health, McPherson Laundry, Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, which I'll probably get for dinner tonight, Pools Plus, Mid-Kansas Credit Union, Bullseye Irrigation, the Pooh Squad, and Terra Financial Crop Insurance. Final thoughts. I mean, we kind of discussed it a little bit before the last break, but Nathan, I'll go ahead and let you talk about it just a touch more.
I mean, my real final thought here is that this is a good football team, despite the last 2 weeks. I think they've ran into 2 really good football teams themselves as well, and they're still a young football team, still learning how to play together, still learning how to trust each other, and especially when injuries hit to key leader positions on the defensive side, in both linebacker roles and on the defensive line and kind of in that secondary. This defense is depleted right now with injuries, and they just need to learn how to trust the guy next to them, and they should be fine. Plus, looking forward to next week, I mean, it's Buhler.
Right.
Everyone gets up for Buhler. If you can't get up for rivalry week, if you're from McPherson, then you're probably playing the wrong sport.
Honestly. I mean, we talked about it a lot. Especially last year. Regardless of record, Buhler-McPherson is always going to be a fun one. Now, Buhler's going to enter 5-2 on the year. They defeated Winfield today to clinch at least a share of the league title because they are 4-0 in league play. The only other team that could possibly share now is Mulvane, which they would do if they defeat Winfield next week and if McPherson beats Buhler next week. But that's what's to come next week, as it will be senior night here in McPherson. It will also be the regular season finale, as the Bullpups will try to avoid going 500 for the second year in a row, but also get a big win against Buhler. Don't forget tomorrow to tune in to 98.9 1540 KMCP at 12:30. McPherson College, the number 20 team in the country, traveling to Wichita to face number 5 Friends Falcons, who has the best offense in the country. But last time the two teams met, McPherson kept it close, and that's when McPherson was receiving votes and Friends was a nationally ranked team. But this is a top 25 matchup for a divisional opener between Friends and McPherson. I'll be on the call for that down at Adair Austin Stadium in Wichita with the Midway Motors drive to the game at 12:30 and kickoff at 1. But that's going to do it for us. Special thanks to studio engineer Sherry Bruce and live stream coordinator Jeremy Snap for helping out here today. For Nathan Roble, this is Lane Gillespie. So long from McPherson. The Bullpups will be back in action at home next Friday. We'll see you then right here. They are listening to 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.
At Midway Motors, we are here for you for every mile of life. Whether you're shopping for a new or used vehicle or selling one, Midway Motors will buy your vehicle even if you're not in the market to buy one of ours. Just stop by one of our 5 locations and one of our appraisers will evaluate your vehicle and you can leave with a check the same day. It's fast and easy. Visit MidwayMotors.com for more information. Midway Motors, for every mile of life.
You've been listening to coverage of Bullpup football on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP. Bullpup football is streaming online at adastraradio.com and on the Ad Astra Radio app. This has been a presentation of the Ad Astra Sports Network, leading the way in regional sports coverage. The McPherson Bullpups play on 98.9 and 1540 KMCP.